Lansing's only sports station. The Game, 7:30.
Let's play.
A Friday night tradition continues on the only sports station in Lansing with Brock Holmbush.
Thank you, Nathan Vandenberg. Good evening and welcome to high school football here on the Game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN. It's week number 8 of the season. Just 2 weeks left in the regular season. We got lots of matchup with plenty of playoff implications coming up. We'll preview that coming up in this hour. Eric Doc Love will join yours truly, Brock Palmbush from Holt High School, for the big matchup at the top of the next hour. East Lansing at Holt. The winner clinches a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. Speaking of that, we want to congratulate Mason for clinching the outright CAAC Red title. Congratulating Portland for winning the outright CAAC White title. Also want to congratulate Olivet for winning the outright Glack title. And Langsburg want to congratulate the Wolfpack. After they upset Fowler last week, they clinch a share of the CMAC title. The winner of tonight's game between East Lansing and Holt will clinch a share of the CAAC Blue title heading into next week's final week of the regular season. We got interviews to get to. We have interviews with East Lansing head coach Bill Faracco, also with Holt head coach Chad Falk, and my two-part interview with Brian Calloway, the prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal. But before we get to all of that, it's time for another edition of This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
We highlight some special performances as many sports hit postseason, and a huge event draws hundreds of female student athletes. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. This past weekend was the 25th Women in Sports Leadership Conference in Lansing. It is the first, largest, and longest-running program of its type in the country, and it brought in a crowd of more than 600, most of them high school female student athletes. The conference focused on the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX and carried the theme of Power of the Past, Force of the Future throughout its numerous workshops and sessions. There were 3 keynote speakers throughout the day-and-a-half event. Ashley Baker, the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at Michigan State, Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, MSU's new softball coach, and Kim Barnes-Arico, the University of Michigan's women's basketball coach. Barnes-Arico was thrilled to be a part of the event.
Keep trying to fight for change. I think it's really important. We're 50 years into Title IX, but we're not done. And be passionate and love what you do. They were the ones that talked about, energy and bring positive energy and be a great teammate and celebrate the small victories just as much as you celebrate the large ones. So I loved speaking to the group, and they were really connected. And I think they're the group that is going to continue to change the world.
We'll have more from the WISL conference later in the show. Game balls this week go to East Lansing Soccer's Carter Hagan. The junior scored the lone goal in a 1-0 win over Okemos, leading the Trojans to the CAAC Gold Cup final. The win also ended Okemos' 40-game unbeaten streak. DeWitt golfer Courtney Novak, she had a hole-in-one as the sophomore helped lead DeWitt to a regional golf title. It was Novak's first career ace. And to Benzie Central's Hunter Jones. He set a boys' cross-country meet record at the Portage Invitational, clocking in at 14 minutes and 37 seconds.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Jeff Kimmerly.
Team A has the ball at its own 3-yard line, facing a 4th and 10. Quarterback drops back into the end zone, and just before he's about to be sacked, he throws the ball away. Out comes the flag for intentional grounding, which would give the defense 2 points and force Team A to kick off. But the coach of the team on defense would rather decline the penalty and take over at the 3-yard line. Can he do that? Not exactly. While he can decline the penalty, the result of the play is the same, a safety for the defense. The penalty is accepted, the enforcement is from the end zone, resulting in a safety. Incomplete illegal passes end the play where the pass is made. So even if the penalty is declined, it's a safety because the play ended behind the goal line.
Thanks, Jeff. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Continuing with our coverage of the 25th WISL Conference, recently retired Livonia Stevenson Athletic Director Lori Hyman was honored with the 2022 Women in Sports Leadership Award. Hyman was a college basketball coach for 17 years before becoming a high school AD for the last 27 years. The MHSAA's Kathy Vrjink-Westorp served as the chairperson for the WISL Conference.
The Women in Sports Leadership presenters were outstanding and spoke about real topics and challenges that are relevant to current-day athletes. Comments were heard around the conference that students, coaches, and administrators found it very beneficial and enjoyed the opportunity to hear outstanding leaders in sport. It was chock full of great information instrumental in promoting females in sports leadership. All in all, it was a great reflection of a conference for young women on this 50th anniversary of Title IX.
For more on the conference or any of our Title IX content online, please go to MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Menards is #1 when it comes to selection of Purdy painting tools. They deliver on the highest quality brushes, rollers, paint kits, and more. Purdy painting tools are engineered.
Pregame show, the 19th head coach for the Trojans of East Lansing High School, 6-1 on the season, 4-0 in the CAAC Blue. He's Coach Bill Faracco. Coach, thanks so much for coming on once again.
Good evening, Brock.
Very nice win for you over a much improved Waverly squad last Friday. You won fairly easily, 41-6. Dalen Adams continues to do a good job for you at quarterback. But what's so impressive with Kanye Jackson, your starting running back, in and out of the lineup because due to injuries. Your sophomore Jace Clarizio has really stepped forward and had an outstanding year for you, not just offensively but defensively. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 interceptions on defense, and a pick 6 as well. That's outstanding.
Jace stepped up when called upon to do a little bit more duty and did a very nice job for us. Absolutely.
How has Dalen Adams improved from when we last saw him against DeWitt? 2 more passing touchdowns, 150 yards passing. Pretty solid.
Dalen continues to improve. He's got a good sense of what we're trying to do. And what we want to do. He's a very intelligent kid and managing the game well, but not only managing the game. Sometimes that's a little bit of a misnomer. People say, managing the game. But he does. There's quite a bit of responsibility he has with the calls, with the reads. But physically, he's doing just a nice job. We kind of thought that this would come. And throwing the ball well, and now even running the ball a little bit also for us when needed.
Bill Faracco, the head coach of East Lansing, joining us here on the pregame show. Your defense has really played well as well. I know Karen Jackson's had a very good year as well. Talk about not just him, but some of the other guys that play defense.
On the defensive front, we have Cody Malenfant, who is an all-conference returner, 2-year starter, and possibly a little undersized weight-wise. He's 6'1", maybe about 185 pounds, but he's a football player. Javon Thomas continues to also improve on the defensive front, and Christian Bertries has been a pleasant, I don't want to say surprise because he played quite a bit last year, but once again, stepping into a senior's shoes responsibility-wise and also doing a nice job. And, of course, Kieran at the outside linebacker and Tavion Demps working with Kanye on the inside, are both doing well. And we have, Evan Boyd back at the free safety position, and kind of rotating the corners just a bit, and Donovan Patterson at the strong safety. They're coalescing a little bit. They're getting a better feel, and I think we were all pleased by the physicality that we brought to the game defensively last Friday.
Bill Faracco joining us here on the pregame show, the veteran head coach of the East Lansing Trojans. Your opponents are the Rams of Holt. Maybe played the toughest schedule in the mid-Michigan area with all apologies and respect to Portland. They are 4-3 on the season, but 4-1 in the CAAC Blue, and they have some explosive players on offense. Seneca Moore, the quarterback, Isaiah Foster, who plays all over the place, really. Wide receiver, running back. He sometimes plays quarterback, and Bryce Cornelius, a very good running back as well. Looks like their coach, Chad Folk, does a very nice job of getting the ball in the hands of his top skill players and letting them go.
Absolutely, and I would agree with your first comments regarding their schedule. They have played a very, very tough schedule, and now you can see them with the tape that we've watched. Feeling comfortable, feeling confident, and they have an all-league quarterback coming back, and that young man is a heck of a player. He had a great game against us last year, and we've got to stop him primarily to be able to compete into the fourth quarter.
You're talking about Seneca Moore, their excellent quarterback. You're right. He's a 2-year starter. He started a lot last year. This game's important, not just for playoff points for you guys in Division II, but for a league championship. If, much like Holt, if you guys win tonight, you clinch a share of the CAAC Blue title with still one game to go against Grand Ledge. It's a big one here.
And this is what you play for. Games like this, we've talked to the kids about this is why, in January and February, you were in the weight room, and in the spring, you were competing in other sports, but coming into the weight room, and then in the summer, in the weight room. I mean, these are the types of games that you prepare for, you train for, and absorb it. Let it all wash over you, and understand that you've earned this chance. Now make the best of it.
Bill Faracco joining us here on the pregame show. Given everything that you've said, what one or two keys for a big road win and a share of that CAAC Blue title with a victory over Holt? What keys to win?
I think that we have to defend well. We have a pretty good sense of what we feel they would like to do from their offensive standpoint. The quarterback adds another dimension that we just got to take care of. We've got to take care of the ball offensively, and then create some explosive plays to generate our offense, and maybe get a score or two off those explosives. But try to keep them reeling a little bit. They're awfully good defensively. The front seven are very, very good.
He's Bill Faracco, the head coach, the 19th-year head coach of the Trojans of East Lansing High School, ranked number 7 this week in Division II. Coach, thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck against Holt.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure and an honor to be on, Brock. Thank you.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 7:30 a.m., WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the
coach for the Rams of Holt High School, he's Coach Chad Folk. Coach, thanks so much for coming on once again.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be able to talk to you.
Well, Coach, you after a bit of a slow start where you played another difficult schedule, you guys have regrouped to a degree. You look at the overall record and say 4-3, and you think, well, it's not that great. But you know what? If you beat East Lansing tonight, you clinch a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. What's been the difference?
Well, everybody always says that, the schedule we play is pretty tough, and it is. So 4-3 seems mediocre or right at the middle of the pack with everybody else. But when you look at the teams we played, if you include the teams we saw at our scrimmage, 12 teams, 10 of them would be qualified for the playoffs right now. The only teams we didn't scrimmage or play a game against are that would not be in the playoffs is Okemos and Everett. And other than that, everybody would be in the playoffs if they started today. So, having a schedule as tough as that, and two of those teams being three of the teams on our schedule, including East Lansing, being in the top 10 in the ranking, being 4-3, you know, if compared with that tough of a schedule, it's not too bad. You know, other teams like DeWitt facing the same thing, facing a super tough schedule and being 4-3. But you know, whoever's got to play them down the road, that's going to be a tough task too.
Yes, it will. It always is. We're talking with Chad Falk, the veteran head coach of the Rams of Holt. You beat Everett last Friday, 50-7, and you've been riding your main guys. Seneca Moore, your quarterback, 2 touchdown runs. Bryce Cornelius, 2 touchdown runs, almost 100 yards. Isaiah Foster, 99 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Those are your 3 main guys. Those are the guys that handle the ball. They are, needless to say, they are key for you.
Very much, but you know, when you've got 3 guys that are putting out that much output, that's a good thing. You know, and some years you got 1 guy, and if something bad happens, then you're in some deep trouble. But being able to count on 3 guys, that puts some other teams you're going to face in a bind and make them have to prepare for a lot more things than if you were just one-dimensional.
And you use various formations to get the ball in their hands. You did a nice job of that against Grand Ledge. Before we talk about East Lansing, that Grand Ledge game, I think that was absolutely huge for you. You guys were in trouble to get 3 losses in your first 4 games, and you forced 5 turnovers and blocked a punt for a safety. Just a tremendous effort from your team. Not the greatest offensive output. It was only 14-6, but your defense and special teams was outstanding, I thought.
Yeah, you know, when we were playing them, we were still trying to figure some things out offensively. You know, offensive line-wise, we're super young. We got 3, at that point, we had 3 sophomores starting on the offensive line, and they were still showing it and still learning the ropes then. They've gotten to be a little bit more comfortable, so things have gotten a lot better. But when your defense can do those types of things where they're shutting down a Grand Ledge team that, Sean Foster, I mean, he's having an incredible year right now. And then for us to be able to bottle him up a little bit and hold Grand Ledge to what we did puts us in a really good position. You know, if we can win this one, this is our last league game. So, you know, we would end that season with only 1 loss. And, you know, with East Lansing and Grand Ledge playing next week, you know, winner of that game would only have 1 loss as well. We would have beaten both those 2 schools head to head.
Sure.
So, you know, if we get it done tonight, then you know, it's pretty exciting for the Rams to get it again.
Your opponents are the Trojans of East Lansing. They're undefeated in the CAAC Blue, and like you, they can clinch a share of the league title if they are victorious. They're 6-1. They're ranked number 7 in the Division II poll this week. They beat Waverly easily last Friday night, 41-6. And they've had a few injuries here and there. You know, Kanye Jackson, their starting running back, he got hurt in the DeWitt game, but his backup has done outstanding. Jace Clarizio, 97 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions as a defensive back, 1 a pick 6. And he was their backup, a sophomore at the start of the season. And their quarterback, Dalen Adams, has really played very well this season. He played an awful lot last year because of injuries, and it's obviously helping him this year. He's been excellent as well for Coach Bill Faracco's crew.
Yeah, you know, Coach Faracco just does a tremendous job every year. You know, their team is always going to be very sound and fundamentally correct, and you know, they always just do their job. And so, you know, you've got to play a perfect game every time you play East Lansing, and then hope that you have athletes to compete with them while getting everybody to do their job. And that's going to be the same tonight. When one guy goes down for them, they all know what their job is, and there's not really any weak links. You gotta play perfect every time you play East Lansing.
Before we get to keys to the game, talk about some of your defensive players and how well they've played this season.
Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of guys step in, you know, losing 9 starters from last year's team, and then to be able to hold some teams defensively the way we've done. And, you know, I've been pretty pleased the way they've played thus far, but, you know, they'll get challenged here tonight. But they, you know, having to grow up pretty fast and, you know, having leaders like Isaiah Foster, who is just able to play quarterback back there on the defensive side and get guys into the spot they're supposed to be, and having just an incredible year when seeing the vast, very creative offenses that we see these days, and they're able to adjust each week, even though they are so young. Guys like he and Isaiah Denning on the inside, you know, the few seniors that we have in there are doing tremendous and bringing those other guys up along. And the defensive line, once again, is so strong for us with Carlos Speed, who's such a, you know, big athletic kid that gives a lot of teams some fits with that offensive line. And having other guys on there like Josh Holland, who just does his job every time the way he's supposed to, and Connor Crapel on that defensive line. Those guys have just stepped up tremendously, and we couldn't ask for anything more. And then you look at the defensive backs. We've got some guys that were up with us as sophomores, but because of COVID, they were with us, but maybe didn't get as much playing time last year because I think we had the best defensive back group we've ever had. But now it's their turn, and they've really stepped into a tremendous role with Joseph Mitchell and Charles Thompson. They have just been phenomenal, and I can't say enough nice things about every one of those guys on that defensive side.
Speaking with Chad Falk, the 8th-year head coach for the Rams of Holt. Okay, finally, what are one or two keys for a huge home win against East Lansing and get a share of that CAAC Blue title?
We have to minimize the mistakes, and you got to say that every game. But when you have such a young team like we do, that's huge, especially when you're playing East Lansing, who's always going to be fundamentally sound. They're always going to do their job, and they're going to do some unique things with motions and all that stuff to try to get our guys out of position. We just have to really be focused in on being in the right spot at the right time before the start of the play. If we could do that, I think we got a shot. And in some years where we've played these guys and we've kept it close, keeping our composure at the end when it gets pretty emotional, we've been able to stay tight with East Lansing, and we just hope we can do that again here tonight.
He's the 8th-year head coach for the Rams of Holt. High school 4-3 overall, 4-1 in the CAAC Blue. Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck against East Lansing.
Thank you.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Cherry Creek Mortgage Company prides itself on quick and accurate pre-qualifications, common sense underwriting, and superior customer service. We've been servicing the capital area for over a decade. We have the experience, knowledge, and network.
Normally we start with the CAAC Blue and then work our way throughout the CAAC into the GLAC and then into the CMAC, but we got to start off with the two big upsets that occurred. First in the CMAC, Langsburg went to Fowler. This was a stunning score to me. I know you've been telling me about Ty Randall and how good he's played for Langsburg this season, but they went to unbeaten Fowler and beat them 27-14 behind Ty Randall's 3 touchdown passes. You've been telling me that Ty Randall's really, really good. Boy, he proved it last Friday.
He did, and, he's got a number of receivers as well, too. And, obviously that win gave Langsburg at least a share of the CMAC title. And,
right.
Who knows, it could end in a 3-way tie. But I was doing some research, and I don't know when was the last time that Langsburg won a league championship. I know they've come close before, but I can't quite pinpoint when they last maybe even won a league title. So, that was just big for them. And they're a team that has played very well since starting the season with back-to-back losses to Durand and Pewamo, Australia to get themselves in this position. But they still have work to do to get into the playoffs. It's crazy that they're 5-2 and just outside of the playoffs in Division 6.
Right, because Fowler, even though Fowler's a great win for them, they don't get as many points as they would playing a Division 6 team because Fowler is, one of the best teams in Division 8. I think this is just a blip on the screen for Fowler, but, it's a bit of a disappointment, especially after the big win over Pewamo, Westphalia a few weeks back. The other one, it was in the others category. Ovid Elsie, not in one of the area leagues, but, to go to New Lothrop and score a fourth-quarter touchdown to beat New Lothrop, one of the best programs in the state as far as small schools go, that is absolutely huge for Ovid Elsie and their playoff chances.
It is, I think they got an interception to end that game as well, too. And also that win keeps Ovid Elsie alive for a league title as well, too. They just need a little help this week if Durand falls to New Lothrop, because those two teams play each other, and Durand is in the driver's seat in that league right now. So outside chances of a league title for Ovid Elsie as well, too. So big on multiple fronts for them. Yeah, the Mid-Michigan Athletic Conference, just a little bit north of us here. All right, let's go back to the CAAC Blue. Holt took care of Everett pretty easily, 50-7. East Lansing did the same with Waverly, 41-6. East Lansing's looking really, really good right now. And Waverly, we had a feeling they would struggle in the second half of the season after getting off to a great start. East Lansing looking good right now, despite some injuries. They're right there once again.
No, they are right there once again. And then you talked about Waverly. They got off to a really good start. And now, they've really got some work to do in order to ensure they can get into the playoffs as well, too, because right now, they've kind of slipped some of those final 5 teams that are in the field. And, the next 2 weeks don't get any easier for them with games against both Hazlitt and DeWitt.
No, we'll talk about week number 8 coming up in the next segment. On to the CAAC Red. Congrats to Mason. They crushed St. John's on the road 41-6. But the game you and I were at, Hazlitt at Williamston, looked like Hazlitt was going to blow them out. They had a huge lead, 30-13, and just on the verge of putting it away. But Williamston came back, made it close, and just didn't quite have enough at the end. Didn't get the onside kick at the end. Heck of a win for Hazlitt. Nakaya Mockery showed everybody once again why he is the most explosive player in the area. With all apologies to Grand Ledge's Sean Foster.
Yeah, no, Nakaya Mockery is pretty explosive and, can do a lot of different things for the Hazlitt team. And also, he had an interception as well, too, that was key in the fourth quarter because there wasn't that many drives where Hazlitt was able to stop Williamston kind of the stages of the game. But that was one of those drives that they were able to get a stop and ended up being key with the final score only being 3 points between them.
Moving on to the CAAC White, we're talking with Brian Calloway, prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal. Very nice rebound win for Charlotte, winning at Sexton 31-12. Wondered how they were going to show up after losing so badly to Portland the previous week. And congrats to Portland, John Navarre and his crew. They beat Lansing Catholic 33-14, another league title for Portland. And did you ever think Lansing Catholic would be 2-5 at this point?
No, not at all. Did not see that coming. But, yeah, that's kind of exactly where they find themselves at. And, they're in danger of missing the playoffs as well, too. They had been, despite having a losing record for most of the season, they had been part of the playoff field. But, the last 2 weeks with the losses that they've had to Ionia and Portland, they've now slipped out. So it's just kind of been crazy for them. But, kudos to Portland and the job that they've done. I think there's like 6 or 7 league titles in the last 8 years or something like that. So it's been a nice run that this program has had. And, they've just had a number of pieces and a number of players that have stepped up year after year to help them to continue the success that they've had.
Moving on to the GLAC, another league title for Olivet, probably the last year for the GLAC, and Olivet made mincemeat of Lakewood, winning 42-7. Huge win for the Eagles. And, rough loss for Perry. Perry's had some good wins this year, but a tough loss at Stockbridge, 14-12. First talk about Olivet and Lakewood, and then Perry at Stockbridge.
Olivet, has been the dominant team in that league the last few years, and they showed it once again. Ramsey Basso, he's had a heck of a season for the Eagles and, put up some pretty big numbers, both as a receiver and a rusher. And, Bo Lincoln has, done well as a, first-year starter at quarterback at the varsity level for them as well, too. So, another impressive win for Olivet, who has, jumped into the top 10 in Division 5 in the Associated Press rankings. And then you talked about Perry. they won the week earlier on a field goal at the buzzer by Reese Till. And then, a tough loss, to a Stockbridge team that had some tough losses as well, too. Stockbridge had lost to previously winless Leslie, a couple of weeks earlier prior to that. So it was a big bounce back for Stockbridge as well, too, because Stockbridge is one of those teams that's fighting for a playoff spot along with Perry as well. So it was definitely a big game for both of those teams as far as the playoffs are concerned.
Moving on into 8-man football. We'll finish this segment with 8-man football. Heck of a comeback win for Morris. They got blown out by Merrill last week. Merrill might win the state title in 8-man in one of the 8-man divisions this year. Nice comeback win for them, beating Montebello, a very credible opponent, but winning easily 50-12. We'll start there before we get to Portland St. Pat's. Heck of a win for Kendall Crockett's crew.
It is, Merrill, like you said, Merrill has been a team that's just been dominant all season in 8-man Division 1. So it was definitely nice for the Orioles to bounce back, and like you said, Blanchard Montebello, a respectable program for sure. So.
And finally, Portland St. Pat's. When's the last time they've been 3-4? I don't think they've been 3-4 in their history in 8-player football. And they lost to Fulton last Saturday, 70-44 on the road. Can Fulton actually make it into the playoffs in just their second year of 8-player football?
They have a chance. They're just on the outside right now, but they've got a couple of big games coming up, and one of those is against Morris as well too. They do have a chance, but it was an impressive win for them to be able to knock off a Portland St. Patrick team, and Portland St. Patrick's now lost 4 straight. But Fulton on the other hand has won 4 straight games, and Bruce Dalen has had a pretty big season for them. He's the leading rusher in the area. Been effective as a quarterback as well too. So, and he's been very strong defensively for them as well too.
Brian Calloway, prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal. We've reviewed week number 7. We'll preview week number 8 coming up on the other side of this break on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, your trusted sport Let's try that again. Your trusted source for high school sports coverage.
The Greater Lansing Sports Authority wants to help you with your next athletic tournament or event. Since 2007, they've worked to make Greater Lansing a premier host city, drawing...
Earlier this week, it was Wednesday, as a matter of fact, that Everett forfeited their game against DeWitt. Within 24 hours, DeWitt was able to find an opponent, Detroit Loyola, out of the Detroit Catholic League. Loyola has been one of the best programs in the state of Michigan in the lower levels, but lower levels of enrollment, I should say. But it's been a struggle for them. 1-6 this season for Detroit Loyola. But DeWitt needed an opponent, and they found one on pretty short notice. I'm going to pick DeWitt in this one, but the main thing is DeWitt is actually playing a game this week. They didn't want to go 2 weeks or 3 weeks without playing a game, given the fact that they didn't play last week with the Okemos forfeit.
Yeah, I mean, that would have definitely been a tough situation for them to have 2 weeks off in the late stages of the season here. And this is the time of the season when you want to be kind of, getting into full stride and getting ready for the playoffs as well, too. So definitely good that they were able to find an opponent on such short notice, but it's tough to see Everett have to, not being able to play that game due to some number issues there.
Well, I hope when that game is being played, I hope the DeWitt fans applaud Detroit Loyola when they come out onto the field, and just thanking them for being willing to come up to DeWitt and to play such a great program with the Panthers. Moving on, in non-conference play, these are two teams that need a win to cement or help out their playoff chances. Hazlitt 5-2, coming off a big win at Williamston. They head to Waverly 4-3. Waverly, we've talked about it. They've struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks. Both these teams need a win to solidify their playoff chances.
They do, and I think Hazlitt picked up a pretty big win last week, going on the road to knock off Williamston, which gave them a boost in Division III. And obviously, like we talked about last segment, Waverly is a team that has some work to do as one of those last 5 teams currently in a Division III field. I went with Hazlitt in this one, and so I picked Hazlitt. Yeah.
Moving on to the CAAC Red, a couple of teams that need wins to help their playoff chances. Even though Lansing Catholic is only 2-5, a lot of people think if they get to 4-5, if they win this week against Fowlerville and then beat PW at home next week, they could get in because of points at 4-5. So this is a big one for them and a big one for Fowlerville. 3-4 on the season, win their last 2, they could possibly get in.
It definitely is big for both of these teams, and Fowlerville being a Division IV team, they're kind of one of the first 4 teams outside, and I think Lansing Catholic is number 38 in Division 6 in playoff points as well too. So a win, gives either one of these teams a boost. I think it would be especially a big boost for Lansing Catholic with Fowlerville being a Division IV program if they're able to win. I went with Fowlerville at home winning this one, though.
Going to be a tight one, I think, either way. All right, a big one here. Olivet, the GLAC champs at 6-1, playing Williamston at 5-2. I tell you what, had Williamston won that game over Hazlitt, we'd be out at Williamston covering that game, a pair of 6-1 teams. But Williamston slips to 5-2. Olivet, an outstanding team. You've been singing their praises all season long. And they played in the playoffs last year in a muddy quagmire. It was a 3-0 overtime win for Olivet. Who you got in this one?
I think this is a game that's going to be close as well, too. And, we saw these two teams play twice within 3 weeks last year.
Right.
I mean, it could be a possible playoff preview once again. I went with Williamston at home. I think they get their revenge, but I would not be surprised if this went either way based on these teams.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very, very tight. Also, Mason trying to get to 8-0 on the season, taking on Jackson at 4-3. I got Mason in this one. I have them number 1 in my poll at thegame730am.com. Mason's just been outstanding all season long. I got him in this one and possibly could be a blowout, even though Jackson's a very credible opponent at 4-3.
No, I'm not sure if it'll be a blowout. I think Jackson can test them a little bit. I mean, especially more than they have been in the last couple of weeks. But I do, too, also have Mason in this one. They've been pretty impressive all season.
And finally, in the CAAC Red, Eastern at Sexton. Eastern struggled this year, 0-7. Sexton at 3-4. But these are longtime rivals. They play for the Oak Chest. It's a trophy game. Still a big deal with these two schools. Very passionate alums. It's always a big deal when these two teams play. Sexton is better this year. They're not great, but at 3-4, but they're still, got a possibility to get into the playoffs. I got Sexton in this one.
There is still a possibility for Sexton to get into the playoffs, and they are kind of along the same lines with Fowlerville there in Division 4, kind of trying to fight to get in. I went with Sexton in this one as well.
Moving on into the CAAC White, Portland, the league champs. They always play tough non-conference schedules, and they're amongst the toughest in the state. All they got to do is head up north to play 5-2 Cadillac. Wow.
Yeah, and Cadillac's a team that just climbed into the top 10 in the Division III rankings as well, too. And, Portland, they've shown a knack to not, go out and find these tests. I mean, you look at their non-conference schedule. I mean, DeWitt has been part of that in recent years as well, too. And some of the other teams that they've gone over to play, on the west side of the state as well, too. I'm going to go with Portland on the road to pick up a win here.
All right. That would certainly help their playoff chances of getting, well, not the playoff chances, but getting a home game. They've only played 3 home games, or only have played 3 home games this season at Portland High School. Another big one, Charlotte, going to get tested again for the playoffs as they head to 7-0 Flint Hamady.
Yeah, that's a big game for Charlotte as well, too. Tough road game. I'm going to go with the Flint in this one.
Oh, going with Hamady. All right. Moving on to the GLAC, 2 more games that have playoff implications. Lakewood, 5-2. They head to the southwest part of the state to take on Decatur, also 5-2.
I think Lakewood bounces back and picks up a win here, so I'm going with the Vikings.
Another game with playoff implications. Langsburg at 5-2, the at least the co-champs of the CMAC. They're on the outside looking in right now. They're just outside the top 32 in their division. I believe it's Division 6. They're taking on Perry, who needs a win to help their playoff chances. I took Langsburg in this one, but how do you see it?
I also took Langsburg. I mean, I think they're a team that is playing really well right now, and I think they kind of keep the momentum going, especially after picking up a pretty big win last week.
On to the CMAC, the top game, Bath, trying to get themselves into the playoffs at 5-2, taking on PW on the road. Because it's at PW, I took the Pirates in this one. They need a win to solidify their chances. How do you see it?
No, I think when Westphalia gets in as well, wins this one as well, too, and claims a share of the CMAC title.
Does Fowler do the same when they play Saranac?
I do. I think Fowler does. I think it ends in a 3-way tie with Fowler, PW, and Langsburg.
Okay. And moving on into 8-man football, the top one, Morris, 6-1 at Portland St. Pat's. This was actually a game before the season that Eric and I were looking at as possibly doing in week number 8 because in the last few years they've been by far the top 2 teams in 8-man football in the Mid-Michigan area. Not so much this year. Portland St. Pat's has struggled 3-4 on the season. I took Morris in this one. I think they just have too much.
Yeah, I like Morris big in this one as well, too. Portland State Patriots on a little bit of a skid right now, and I think Morris drops them to their 5th straight loss there.
Wow, 5 straight losses. That'd be something for Portland St. Pat's. I can't remember the last time that's happened. Finally, the game you're going to hear on WVFN, East Lansing 6-1, Holt 4-3, but the winner of this game clinches at least a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. Holt would get a share of finishing 5-1 if they win. East Lansing would clinch a share if they are 5-0 because they got 1 league game left against Grand Ledge next week. I think this is going to be a heck of a game. I think it's going to be close. I took East Lansing in this one. I think they have a little bit too much, but Holt definitely has enough to keep it close. And if they beat East Lansing, I won't be shocked. How do you see it?
No, I like East Lansing in this matchup, but, this is a pretty big stretch for East Lansing. You kind of think about it with, 2 massive tests in the regular season when you start off with a game like Holt, and then you have Grand Ledge next week as well, too. But I think East Lansing claims a share of the league title here.
He's Brian Calloway, Prep Sports Editor of the Lansing State Journal. Brian, thanks so much once again. Next week when we talk to you, we will review week number 8 and preview the final week of the regular season, week number 9. Thanks again, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brock.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
You should be driving a Kia. You should be driving a Kia from Kia of Lansing and Kia of Jackson.
Hey folks, Skip Young here, and you know I want to see you in a Kia.
And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Mike Smith Memorial Stadium on the campus of Holt High School. We've got a big CAAC Blue matchup between the homestanding Rams of Holt High School, 4-3 overall, 4-1 in the CAAC Blue, and they're hosting the leaders in the CAAC Blue, the 6-1 East Lansing Trojans, who are 4-0 in CAAC Blue play. Good evening, I'm Brock Palmbush. Alongside me is Eric Doc Love. And Doc, this is a big one here in the CAAC Blue. If East Lansing wins tonight, they are in position to win the outright league title next week when they play Grand Ledge in week number 9. However, if Holt wins tonight, like Langsburg last week when they upset Fowler, if Holt wins tonight, they clinch a share of the CAAC Blue Championship because they'll finish league play at 5-1.
So you're telling me this is a pretty big ball game tonight?
Kind of important in a sports sense, yes. But this is a big ball game, and the reason why Holt is 4-1 in the league, well, they crushed Everett last Friday night, 50-7, behind their top 3 playmakers. Isaiah Foster, 2 touchdowns, almost 100 yards rushing. Bryce Cornelius, almost 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Seneca Moore, the quarterback, he had 2 touchdown runs.
Yeah, Seneca Moore, Bryce Cornelius, Isaiah Foster, the 3 guys that really run the offense, or the engines of the offense for Chad Folk and this Holt Rams squad. Their one loss in the blue has come to DeWitt, and they were leading that ball game 8-6 at halftime, and then DeWitt came out and beat him in that second half. But Holt, they knocked off the Trojans last season in 2021, 26-21 actually in that one, and the Rams, pretty good year last year, looking to get back into the playoffs here this season, and a big step and more points would be helpful tonight too with a win against East Lansing.
Speaking of East Lansing, they're 6-1 overall, 4-0 in the CAAC Blue. They are ranked number 7 in the Division II poll this week. They beat Waverly last week at home 41-6. Dalen Adams, 2 touchdown passes. Noah Lopez, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown, and Jace Clarizio, who's been terrific. He's played a lot more as a sophomore because of off and on injuries to Kanye Jackson, their starter. 97 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions on defense because he plays defensive back as well.
He's a pretty good sophomore out there, playing both ways for Coach Bill Faracco. Their one loss this season has come in non-conference play to Grand Blanc in that close one, 28-21 there at home for the Trojans. But they made the playoffs the last 6 seasons. They made the regional final back in 2020, and this offense has been very, very good so far this season, outscoring opponents 272-93, and Dale Adams has been a fantastic quarterback so far this year. You mentioned the Kanye Jackson. They had some injuries, but Jace Clarizio stepped up, and they've got a good 1-2 punch with Kanye and Jace.
And they've got other good players, too. Kieran Jackson, Dorian Jackson. You'll hear guys like Cody Malenfam.
Evan
Boyd on defense. So you'll be watching them. Noah Lopez, mentioned him as well. He'll be one of the names mentioned tonight. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt. Wayne Lacey and his great staff at 114 West Main Street in DeWitt, serving home buyers throughout the Mid-Michigan area. Give them a call at 517-580-5050 and ask about any kind of home loan and or mortgage. And the Greater Lansing Sports Authority, lansingsports.org. Mike Price, Megan Zemer, their great staff, bringing national events to the Mid-Michigan area. Well, this is not the only other game tonight. We got lots of other action tonight around the area. And
start with DeWitt, who had to pick up a game.
They had to pick up a game because Everett forfeited, so they picked up a team that's been a perennial power in the Detroit Catholic League, Detroit Loyola, but they've struggled at 1-6. But the main thing is for DeWitt, they're playing because they didn't play last week against Okemos.
And we were talking about it before we came on the air that they just wanted a game. They wanted the players. They didn't want to have 3 weeks off.
Correct.
Before playing between games.
Correct. No, thought they were doing the anthem.
They're doing their alumni song.
The alma mater. Gotcha. All right, some of the other action around the area. Hazlitt is at Waverly. That's a big game for playoff points for both teams. Lansing Catholic at Fowlerville. The battle for the Oak Chest. Eastern is at Sexton. Sexton needs a couple of wins to possibly get them in. Mason, the only undefeated team in the area, hosting Jackson this week down in Mason. Ionia is at St. John's. Olivet at Williamston. Eric, if Williamston would have beat Hazlitt last week, we'd be back at Williamston this week. It would have been a couple of 6-1 teams. As it is, still a big one. Olivet 6-1, Williamston at 5-2. Big time for playoff points.
Yeah, Olivet, the GLAC champion, maybe the last GLAC championship.
Portland is at Cadillac. Portland, toughest schedule in the area. Non-conference wise, it's incredible what they do. Charlotte is at Flint Hamady. Lakewood at Decatur. Perry at Langsburg. Lots of playoff points up for grabs there. Stockbridge is at St. Charles as well. We'll get to the rest of the schedule coming up after this. This is the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, your trusted source for high school sports coverage.
The game, 7:30 a.m. This day in sports history.
October 14th, 1978, a memorable day in history for Dodger fans as Yankee Reggie Jackson causes a World Series controversy, getting in the way of a ball thrown to first base the Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda did not appreciate. And in 1906, the White Sox become the first American League team to win the World Series as they beat the Cubs 4-2 to win the All-Chicago Series.
Lansing's only sports station. The game, 7:30 a.m.
should be driving a Kia. You should be driving a Kia from Kia of Lansing and Kia of Jackson.
Hey folks, Skip Young here, and you know I want to see you in a Kia.
Brock Palmbush, Eric Doc Love back with you from Mike Smith Memorial Stadium. This is the first time we've been here since the rededication of this football field in honor of the great Holt High School coach Mike Smith. Also was a great coach at Eaton Rapids as well. Administrator at Everett. He assistant coach at Grand Ledge as well for a season. He's just one of the best guys ever, really. And his unfortunate passing a few years ago just was a sad day for everyone around here.
He was a wonderful man. I loved talking to him. He was very funny. He had so many good stories.
Yes. Just before I went to break, Stockbridge is a team that's 4-3. They need a victory at St. Charles to help their playoff chances. In the CMAC, Bath is at PW. If PW wins tonight at home over Bath, they clinch a share of the league title with Langsburg. But Bath needs this game, too, for playoff positioning. They can get in. They're having a good season at 5-2.
Yep.
Also, Fowler is at Saranac. Fowler can clinch a share of the league title if they win on the road at Saranac. In the others category, Ithaca is at Carleton. Mount Morris is at Ovid Elsie. How about Ovid Elsie going to New Lothrop on the road and beating them 14-13? That was just a huge, huge win.
Help their playoff standings, too.
Absolutely. In 8-man football, Morris is at Portland St. Pat's. This is a game we actually considered doing before the season.
Yep.
But Portland St. Pat's has lost 4 in a row, and it's really been a struggle. Morris expected to win that one pretty easily. Fulton, 5-2. They beat Portland St. Pat's last Saturday at home. They are at Wilberville. Fulton needs the win to get themselves in better position for the playoffs, which is coming up in 2 weeks. Holt won the coin toss and deferred to the second half. So East Lansing will receive. Holt's going to kick off.
Hayden Dorr.
Going from left to right. Here's the kick. It is high. It is short. It is out of bounds.
Yeah, closest man to it was 0. Kieran Jackson, a senior for East Lansing, but he was not going to touch that when he let it go right out of bounds.
So now let's see what they do. What East Lansing decides to do. Do they take the ball at the 35-yard line, or do they make him kick it again?
I think they're going to make him kick it again.
Well, if that's the case, that's a 5-yard penalty.
Yep.
So it's a 5-yard penalty. And move it back to the 35-yard line.
Back receiving for East Lansing. I don't know if they're going to touch it after the last kick, but number 1, Dorian Jackson, and number 32, Jace Clarizio.
Who is that kicking off for Holt? That's number 88, Hayden Dora, senior. Trying to keep it away from the burners over there, but just kicked it too close to the sideline. See if he tries to squib this one.
He's probably trying to drag it along the sideline to start with, and it took a bad bounce on him. East Lansing making a late sub.
Yes, they are.
You better hurry.
And they get all, yep, now they're set and ready to go. Dorr with the kick. And it's kind of a mini squib kick. It's taken at the 32-yard line and taken down at the 33, 34-yard line. That's number 99, Cody Malenfant, one of the up men. He gets up to the 35-yard line, and there he's taken down there, and that's where East Lansing and their quarterback, Dalen Adams, is at the controls.
On the season, 65 for 109 for 1,173 yards, has 10 touchdowns as well. You mentioned all the guys they're going to get. A lot of guys get a lot of touches for this squad. Kanye Jackson has over 500 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. Evan Boyd leads them in receiving with 34 and almost 700 yards. And Jace Clarizio, the sophomore, gets plenty of touches, 53 carries coming into this ballgame.
Pistol formation for Dalen Adams. Clarizio is behind him, and now we got a whistle.
I think we got a equipment malfunction for, I think that's Evan Boyd for East Lansing.
Nope, number 2, that is Evan Boyd. Yep. I mistook him for Dorian Jackson.
He's got to come out.
Yep, come out for one play. 88, Charlie Baker comes in for him. Pistol formation for Adams. Got a fullback to the right, and Jace Clarizio behind him in the pistol. Hopping to throw. He's going to throw it high and deep out to Baker, and it's caught.
Wow.
Inside the 45-yard line at the 43, maybe the 42. Now they're going to mark him down at the 41-yard line. Big-time gain there. 24 yards. And it was just a fade pattern, Doc.
Well, it was supposed to be for Evan Boyd, but he had to come out because of the equipment malfunction. So Charlie Baker steps in. The junior says, I got this. He throws it over the top of the defender and hauls it in.
And the coverage was good, but Baker is tall. He's 6'3", and he just reached up high over the defender and made a heck of a catch.
Yeah, Charles Thompson out there just didn't have the height for it, but you're right, in great position.
Pistol formation once again for Adams. Clarizio behind him. Man in motion. They're going to pitch it out to Clarizio. Inside the 40, inside the 35, 34, maybe the 33. .52. Josh Holland on the tackle.
Got 6 on the ground on that one. They had a lot of motion in that. Dorian Jackson moving around, going from left to right, swinging around, but they toss it to the right in good space for Clarizio to run.
Second down, a short 4. Adams dropping the throw. He's going to scramble. He's going to get out of there 35. He's going to go and get the first down, I think, inside the 30 to the 27-yard line where he's tripped up there. 1st and 10. EL taken down by number 13, David Venn.
Nice wherewithal for Dalen Adams to recognize that I got some pressure. I got to step up in the pocket. He kept his eyes down the field as he was moving up, and then realized nobody was going to be open. I can take off, pick up 7, maybe 8.
8 yards on the play, up down to the 26-yard line. 10-13 and counting, first quarter. We are scoreless. This is the first drive of the game. Pistol formation again. Clarizio behind Adams. Charlie Baker is back in the game. He's on the right. Number 1, Dorian Jackson on the left, and a slot man on the left as well. Now under center for the first time. I'm guessing they're going to run here to Clarizio. Yep, just a handoff to Clarizio. Nothing there. Great penetration by Holt. The center of the line got into the backfield.
And number 13, David Venn. He was the first guy there to make contact at the line of scrimmage, Brock.
Number 70, Connor Creepo was in there as well. But yeah, you're right. David Venn was in there. It's going to be second down. Loss of 1. Back to the 27. Second down and 11. 9:28 and counting, first quarter. This first drive of the game, East Lansing and Holt. Winner clinches a share of the CAAC Blue title. 3 wide receivers now. 2 to the left. Adams in the gun. Clarizio next to him in the gun. Now man comes in motion. That's Dorian Jackson. Dropping to throw, rolling to the right is Adams. He's going to throw it high and deep. He's got a man in the end zone. Incomplete pass. Both teams kind of looking for a flag there, but the back judge, no flag coming, just an incomplete pass.
The blitz coming from the Rams up the middle, and that forced Dalen Adams to throw it quicker than he wanted to. Number 8, Isaiah Denning, the linebacker, stepping up into the face of Dalen Adams, and he actually got hit as he threw it, and the ball didn't quite get what he wanted. It was a little higher up in the air than what they were expecting. Good battle in the end zone for the ball, but minimal contact. Refs let it go, and that was okay.
Third down and 11. They say officially 10, but it's really closer to 11. Ball at the 27-yard line. Now they remark the ball towards the center of the field. Pistol formation. 1 wide receiver right, 1 to the left, offset eye, all around Adams in the pistol. Now we got a man in motion. Some movement before the snap. Adams dropping to throw. Now he's going to run for it, and he's going to get sacked behind the line of scrimmage at the 29. That was 13 again. That was Van, I believe.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Stepping up, making a couple huge plays. That time getting the sack on Dalen Adams, who was feeling the pressure yet again. They had one-on-one Evan Boyd on the right sideline. Great coverage from the Rams in the secondary. Adams had nowhere to go with it. Tried to take off, and it was too late.
And now it's going to be 4th down and 13.
And this is out of field goal range for East Lansing, so I think they're going to go for it.
It'd be about a 46-yard field goal. 8:25 and counting. The clock is running. And they are at least going to line up to go for it. From the 29-yard line, 4th and long. They got to get down to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line.
This is where you're looking for a pass interference if you're on offense.
And now we got a flag. Delay a game. Nope.
False start.
You got it. That moves them back 5.
Evan Boyd looking for the quick start off the line from the snap, and he causes the false start, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Still, obviously not field goal range. They drop back 5 more yards. So I wonder if maybe bringing somebody else in punt possibly and try and pin Holt back, or they just go for it again.
Well, they're going to at least line up to go for it again. It's back to the 34-yard line. 8:10, 8:09 to go, first quarter. Well, they're going to line up to go for it. It's 4th and officially 17.
They brought in an extra wide receiver, number 6, Donovan Patterson.
4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Now Jace Clarizio. No, that's Dorian Jackson. 5 wide receivers. Dropping to throw is Adams, and he's going to try to get away from pressure, and he's not going to. He throws it, and it's incomplete at the 30. We got a flag, though.
This might be holding. Another blitz up the middle from the Rams. They brought 5 guys. East Lansing, 5 offensive linemen couldn't pick it up.
And if it's against Holt or East Lansing, they'll decline it. It is. It's holding. Declined. Holt stops him. Big-time stop for Holt after it looked like East Lansing was at least going to get 3 points out of that drive.
Rams putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Dalen Adams. He hasn't had a clean pocket so far in this ballgame. Did have the one pass for 24 yards on that drive, but besides that, got sacked, got taken down, and a couple incomplete passes.
So now Holt will take over. Seneca Moore brings the Holt offense up.
The senior on the season, 40 for 89 for 536 yards and 5 touchdowns. And their lead back is Bryce Cornelius.
7:48 to go, first quarter. We are scoreless. Pistol formation again. Power to the right. Almost like a single wing formation. Now they're going to hand off to Cornelius. 35, 40, 45, first down. Out to the 47-yard line. Big hole there, number 99, Cody Malenfant on the tackle. And a big gain there on first down, 13 yards out to the 47.
Well, they bring in the 2 fullbacks, essentially, almost H-backs in the backfield, and they create a lot of space on that right side for Bryce Cornelius, who hit that hole quickly.
Almost like a single wing, formation, except there's an extra wing guy out there.
Yep.
Hand off to Cornelius, right side. Not much there. Malenfant's there, and this is going to be a loss.
Well, they're going to say get back to line of scrimmage, but there's Trojans there waiting for him on that play.
Malenfant was the first one there, and they're going to be generous and get him back to the line of scrimmage. They mark him down at the 48-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 48.
It worked well the first down, so you figure, well, we'll try it again the second time. East Lansing knew what was happening.
7:08 and counting, first quarter. We are scoreless here at Holt High School. Mike Smith Memorial Stadium. Wide receiver to the right, wing backs right and left. Kind of a wing T formation, except the quarterback, Seneca Moore, is in the gun. Now a front pass to Isaiah Foster, and there's not much there. It was one of those flip passes forward, but East Lansing saw it and knocked him down.
It's a completed pass technically, but for no yards, as he only got back to the line of scrimmage.
Who was that on the tackle?
It was a couple of guys in on that one.
Couldn't quite tell who that was.
Host of Trojans.
Several of them. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 48. We're down to 6:24 to go in the quarter. Seneca Moore in the shotgun. Obvious passing formation situation and formation. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Cornelius next to him in the gun. Dropping to throw. Throws it out to Cornelius. He catches it at the 45, out to midfield, 48-yard line, taken down there. Amongst the defenders, number 9, Jalen McFadden. And it's going to be 4th and long from the 48-yard line. A gain of 4, kind of a slow developing play. Good job of pursuit by East Lansing to stop the play, and it's going to force Holt to punt.
That's really what it was. It was the pursuit of the Trojans, along with number 24, Derek White, making that stop. The receivers clear out all the space, and they're hoping they can swing past it out there to Bryce Cornelius on the right side, and there will be a lot of space, but pursuit got to the ball quicker than he had.
Jake Bortnicek, low snap. He's able to get it and get the ball away. It's taken at the 25. Taken by number 2. That's Evan Boyd. He goes out to the right, out to the 30, and no further.
Tackled by his number 2 counterpart, Isaiah Foster.
So now East Lansing will get the ball in decent field position. And a late flag?
Yeah, there is some laundry on the field. But that snap bounced to the punter.
It did.
He had the wherewithal to scoop it.
Bortnicek did a very nice job just to get the snap and get it away. Yes, there is a late flag. Dead ball. Personal foul. Holt. That's the 3rd penalty already for the Rams. And what wasn't the greatest field position in the world, the 30-yard line, is going to be moved up to the 45, I believe.
Yeah, this happened after the play.
And I didn't see what happened.
Me neither.
So they'll mark it down, and now East Lansing in great field position at their own 45-yard line. With 5:19 to go in the first quarter, we're scoreless between East Lansing and Holt. Brock Palmbush, Eric Docklove, glad you're joining us here on the game, 7:30 AM WVFN. This is the Game of the Week, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. Pistol formation for Dalen Adams. Clarizio behind him. They're going to hand to Clarizio, 45, 50. He's into the secondary, first down, inside the 45, down to the 40, still keeping his legs churning. They're going to mark him down just inside the 40. Heck of a run by Clarizio, 15 yards for him.
Right up the middle, too. Had one of his linemen actually way down the field blocking for him, 77, Hayden Healy, the senior, getting back into that second and third levels to create that space for Clarizio, who kept his legs turning and picked up a couple extra to make it 15.
Number 17, Dalen Arnold on the tackle. Down to 5:03 and counting first quarter. Second possession of the game for East Lansing. We are scoreless. Winner of this game, once again, clinches at least a share of the league title in the CAAC blue. Pistol formation. Here's the snap from center. Fake handoff to Clarizio. Adams rolls to the right, looking. Now he's feeling some pressure. Now he's going to throw it away, out of bounds. There was a receiver out there. It was Evan Boyd. He was out of the pocket anyway, so he could have thrown it in the stands if he wanted to, which he couldn't do last year without a penalty. The National Federation changed the rule to make it more in line with college and the NFL, where if you're outside the pocket and you're trying to avoid a sack, you can throw it out of bounds. Throw it, into the stands, literally, as long as it's beyond the line of scrimmage.
Heads up play by Adams, too, to not take the sack there and throw it away and live for another day.
Yep. Ball on the Holt 40-yard line, second down and 10. Adams in the shotgun. He's got three wide receivers right, one to the left. Fake handoff to Clarizio, high pass. It's caught there by Evan Boyd. Inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line, first down. Cornelius knocks him down, but not before. It's a 13-yard gain and another East Lansing first down.
Slant pattern on that play for Evan Boyd. A little bit deeper slant that time. Had to go up and haul it in. Good thing he's about, 6'8" out there, 6'9". And it balls in the pass from Dalen Adams, and it takes a couple of Rams to haul down the big wide receiver.
First and 10. East Lansing's moved the ball better so far. Nothing to show for it so far.
This is about where they got to last time, and then Holt stood up.
Pistol formation. Adams. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Clarizio behind him. Handoff, Clarizio. Not much there, and he's going to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle there. Carlos Speed, number 54. He got into the backfield, and Clarizio, he's going to get a minimal gain out of it, maybe one.
Yeah, got about a yard on that one because he kept his legs turning. Clarizio keep on moving, trying to fall forward, but Carlos Speed waiting for him on that play, essentially. Got away from his blocker.
Second down and 10. They say no gain, even though it looked like he got a half a yard, like you said.
Yeah, he did get about a yard.
3:33 and counting first quarter. We're still scoreless. Second down and 10. Dropping to throw is Adams. Oh, he lost the ball. And now he's got to throw it, and he's going to just throw it away.
That was crazy.
Now, let's see what the officials call like an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, did he throw it and then catch it and throw it again?
Because
you can't do that.
Because he did make a throwing motion, and he lost control of the ball. That's what the Holt coaches are
saying,
a double pass, which you're not allowed to do.
Yes, refs are saying that maybe it was a fumble or he lost control of the ball.
When he brought the ball back instead of going, well, if that's the case, then it is a fumble, technically, and he picked up his own fumble.
Yes. It never hit the ground, obviously, but still considered a fumble.
Nope. And he just threw it away. So 3:21 to go in the first quarter. Thought it was out. That's a tight call. I think the officials got it right. Four wide receivers, three to the right, one to the left. Adams throws it out to Clarizio on a screen pass. 30, 25, taken down at the 23.
Ball's out.
Ball is out. Holt says they have it. Let's wait and see. Yes, they do. So for the second time, Holt is able to stop East Lansing inside the 30-yard line. Did you see who picked up the fumble?
I didn't see who got it, but I know who ripped it out. It was number 53 for the Holt Rams, and that is Javier Glover.
Wow. So East Lansing is turned away again inside the Holt 30-yard line. 3:13 to go first quarter, and it's first and 10 Holt.
Clarizio got about 5 yards and then coughed it up.
We remain scoreless. Last time Holt had the ball, they were able to get it out to around midfield, and they were stopped there. Four wide receivers, a man in motion. Bryce Cornelius behind Seneca Moore, and he's going to get the ball. There's really nothing there.
Nope.
Great penetration by East Lansing. Pretty much the entire defensive line was in the backfield, and he's going to be fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage, and I think the officials are going to give him that.
Cody Malafont, 99, was the one in the middle who stuffed that play. he was right there lined up. I think it was in the A gap in that time, and he stuffed it. And there was nowhere for Cornelius to go.
His helmet came off, so Cornelius has to come out of the game for one play. Clock running under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. We are scoreless here at Holt High School. Second down and 10. That's a generous spot, I must say.
It was. I think he barely got the ball back to the line, and that's what they're giving him.
23-yard line, second and 10. 4 wide receivers. Seneca Moore in the shotgun.
Isaiah Foster placed him. He's next to Moore.
Dropping to throw is Moore. Gets away from a man. He's going to have trouble getting out of the backfield. He's going to get sacked.
Yep.
That number 20 for East Lansing, Julius Goodwin, who'll get credit for the sack. Just too much penetration, and Moore tried to get away from it by going out to the left, and there were just more guys there, and eventually he was taken down by Goodwin.
Yeah, Goodwin is the one who started it. He nearly got the sack to start with. Moore got away from him, and then when he rolled out there, Goodwin stayed with it and brought him down for the sack.
2:04 to go and counting. First quarter, third and a whole bunch.
Yeah, they lost 6 yards on that play.
Holt taking their time. Now you just want to try to get a few yards, just so you can punt the ball away. Under 5 seconds, they may have to call timeout. And no, not call timeout. They're going to get called for a delay of game.
It took too long trying to figure out what play they wanted to run on this long 3rd and 16, now 3rd and 21.
4th penalty already for Holt. Now, one of those penalties was kicking the ball out of bounds.
And it didn't officially count, but, well, I mean, it does.
It does.
But, yeah,
it actually does. I asked Rob Zimmerman that. Does that actually count? And he said, yeah, we kicked the ball out of bounds 3 times one time, and that's 15 yards of the penalties. So I'm like, okay. Seneca Moore takes the snap, dropping to throw. Rolls out to the right. He's got a ton of time, but nobody open. He's going to have to take it himself, and he's taken down at the 15-yard line by number 0. That's Kieran Jackson. And Holt is going to have to punt from their own goal line here late in the first quarter, 1:20 and counting.
We picked up a couple yards on that. Great coverage in the secondary from East Lansing. There was nobody open. No Rams could find any separation from the defensive backs, and so Seneca Moore, he was trying to buy as much time as he could open. Somebody could get away, and they just didn't.
85, Jake Bortnicek, punting from his own 2-yard line. East Lansing looked like they're trying to come to block it. He barely gets the kick away. It's high, it is short. Bounce at the 37, the 40, going to be down at the 41-yard line of Holt. 24 yards on the punt. Well, let's wait and see what the flag is.
Bortnicek got it away. A little bit of pressure, but nobody actually came and touched him. Let's see where this penalty occurred. It's right at the line of scrimmage.
43 seconds to go in the first quarter. We are still scoreless. Personal foul.
Blindside block.
On Holt. Nope, East Lansing.
Yep, they wanted to make sure the referee got it right.
So that's a 15-yard penalty, and that'll get tacked on at the end of the play.
Yep, so they were going to get plus territory in the Rams area. Now they're going to go backwards.
They'll still have good field position at their own 46-yard line. With 43 seconds to go in the quarter, East Lansing's had the better of the play here, or at the 44-yard line, rather. They're going to mark him at the 44. Yep. And like I said, East Lansing's had the better of the play so far, Doc, but nothing to show for it.
Nope. And those blindside blocks have become a little more common penalties these days. They're trying to keep kids safe out there. They don't want somebody, receiver coming in and making a block on a guy that's not paying attention.
And just get absolutely blindsided and get destroyed. Dalen Adams under center. 1st and 10, their own 44. Handoff. Clarizio bounces it outside to the right, gets over the 45, maybe to the 48. He's taken down there. Gain of 4.
That was great running by Clarizio. That play is supposed to go up the middle, and he saw the vision, had to bounce it to the outside.
Because there was nothing up the middle.
Yeah, there were 3 Rams waiting for him, and he's able to bounce it to the outside, get 4 yards on a play that probably should have lost a yard.
Glover on the tackle. We're down to 15 seconds in the quarter. Pistol formation. Down to 10. Adams throws it out to the right. First down, 45-40, out of bounds. That's Evan Boyd with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Just a flanker screen, and he was able to get a first down and get out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Got 11 on that one. Just real quick, you're right. He was out there. The defensive back was a couple yards off of him, and so Dalen Adams just threw out there real quick, took one step and threw it.
There will be one more play here before we end the first quarter.
Trojans, they weren't going to let the clock run out. They wanted to hurry up and get another play. Now they're going to get lucky and get two.
Adams under center. Offset eye behind him. Clarizio, the deep back. Now we got a man in motion. Handoff. Clarizio, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He could go. He's going to go. Touchdown, East Lansing. Jace Clarizio from 40 yards out, and East Lansing is on the board on the final play of the first quarter.
Well, they were trying to hurry up and run some plays there in the last 15 seconds to get out of bounds after the pass play to Evan Boyd, and then Jace Clarizio finds a seam up the middle, gets a block from the outside from his wide receiver, and he's gone 40 yards.
On the final play of the quarter, it's 6-0 East Lansing, and now East Lansing will kick the extra point. Number 10, Archez Hall. Nope, number 13, I'm sorry, Mitchell Roberts, my bad. Snap is low. The hold is good, and the kick is up and good by Roberts. And at the end of one quarter of play, it's East Lansing 7, Holt nothing. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back. On the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Cherry Creek Mortgage Company prides itself on quick and accurate pre-qualifications, common sense underwriting, and superior customer service. We've been servicing the capital area for over a decade. We have the experience, knowledge, and network.
Mike Smith Memorial Stadium on the very last play of the first quarter. Jace Clarizio, a 40-yard touchdown. Extra point good. And it's 7-0 East Lansing as we start quarter number 2. There was a hole right up the middle, and then he veered off to the left and got a good block, like you said, Duck, and he was gone. Just outran everybody. Mitchell Roberts is going to kick here. Going from left to right as they change ends. Here's the kick. It is high. It is short. It's out of bounds.
All right, then.
Roberts, kickoff. Goes out of bounds.
Be one of those kind of nights, huh, Brock?
I guess so.
Kicking the ball out of bounds every time.
Let's see what Holt decides to do. Do they take the ball at their own 35-yard line?
And East Lansing made them re-kick to start the ball game. I got a score for you from the Williamson-Olivet game. It's an 8. Williamson 8, Olivet 7 at the beginning of the second quarter.
Okay.
First play of the second quarter, Williamson scored on that one. A 5-yard run by Alex Petersburg.
There you go. We'll have all the scores, or as many scores as we can possibly get when we get to halftime. We'll have stats and analysis as well. 12 minutes around the clock. Holt opts to take the ball at the 35-yard line, so really no yardage there, no penalty there.
The Detroit Loyola game started a little late because of traffic issues for Detroit Loyola.
Yep. Seneca Moore in the shotgun. Bryce Cornelius next to him in the gun, man in motion. Can a hand off to Isaiah Foster, 35, 40, left side. He's close to a first down to the 44. Number 9, Jalen McFadden was in on the tackle. But a nice gain there on first down on the jet sweep handoff.
Yeah, Foster came in motion from right to left, and Seneca Moore got to that mesh point where he's holding on to the ball. He's like, I'm going to pull it back and keep it, or hand it off to Foster. Great job on the decision to hand it off to Foster, who picked up 9, maybe 8.5.
They say 9. Second down and 1. Shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Moore in the shotgun, Cornelius next to him. Rolling out to the right. Moore feeling the pressure, trying to get outside. He does. He's got the first down, knocked out of bounds at his own 48-yard line. First down. He got hit on the far sideline. Probably didn't want that, but it is a first down.
Yep, I don't think it was a design quarterback run, but it turned into one because Seneca Moore couldn't find anybody open while he was rolling to that right side and able to use his legs and speed and get to the outside of that defender for East Lansing.
Ball on their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10, 11-12 to go in the first half. East Lansing up 7-0 on the Jace Clarizio 40-yard touchdown on the final play of the first quarter. 4 wide receivers again, this time 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Ball on the far hash. Handoff, Cornelius up the middle, there's nothing there. Fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Number 56, Javon Thomas was in there. Noah Lopez was in there as well. It'll be second down. Man, they're generous. They got him to the 49-yard line.
Well, they gave him a yard on
They
that.
did give him a yard.
I say he had previous 2 runs were nothing and nothing. I thought it was going to be nothing again after that good 13-yard run in the first time that Cornelius had it.
After what we saw last week, I mean, we had some interesting spots last week, which you'll see in high school football sometimes. Seneca Moore in the shotgun, dropping the throw. Flag down. He's rolling out, and he's just going to throw it away. It's caught out there, incomplete. And they say he was out of bounds, but this is going to be an illegal procedure call, I believe.
Yeah, somebody was trying to line up properly. One of the wide receivers for
Legal
East Lansing. Yep, there's going to be for Holt. Yeah, the receiver noticed he was too far forward, tried to get back, and Seneca Moore had already gotten the snap at that point.
Correct. Yes, you can move like that laterally, but you have to be set for a second or pretty close to it. Otherwise, that's an illegal shift. Oh, they're going to decline the penalty. Okay.
Right.
Taking the result because it was an incomplete pass.
Correct. They want the down.
They can do that, yes. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Smart call there by Coach Bill Farraco and the coaching staff.
It wasn't a false start. Those you can't decline.
Correct.
But since it's illegal motion, you can.
10:20 to go, first half. 3rd and 9 from their own 49-yard line. Holt trailing East Lansing 7-0. Here's a weird formation here. Seneca Moore, though, is in the shotgun, feeling the pressure again, and he's scrambling around trying to make something happen. And he's going to get knocked out of bounds at his own 46-yard line. It's going to be 4th down.
Those max protect. They had 2 H-backs and the running back there.
That was a weird, it wasn't an inverted wishbone either. No. It's a weird formation. Now the clock was running. And now they stopped. Yeah, they ran out of bounds. They stopped it at 10:02. 10:02 to go. So now Jay Bortnichek's going to punt again for Holt. 3rd punt of the game for him. Holt only has 10 guys on the field. They're looking at the sidelines. What's going on here?
You need one more player.
Yeah, they've only got 10 guys. They may have to call timeout. Now number 8, Isaiah Denning's going to come into the game. Now they've got 11 out there. Bortnichek standing on his own 32-yard line. 10:02 to go, first half. Nice snap there, and he gets the punt away. Hits the ground at the 25, inside the 20. This is a great bounce for Holt. They're going to down it at the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Isaiah Denning, who was the late man that came onto the field, got down the field and down to the punt at the 11-yard line.
Took a nice ram roll that time.
40-yard punt there for Bortnichek, and East Lansing has their worst starting position of the game.
Little field position change for the Rams. They got the kickoff on the bounce of 35, got first down.
Yep.
And at least were able to have a nice punt and force the Trojans to go much deeper.
9:53 to go, first half. East Lansing up 7-0. 1st and 10 from their own 11, going from left to right across your radio in this second quarter. We're glad you're joining us here. Also on the Game730am.com or on the Game 730 AM app on your smart device. Thank you for listening tonight. Adams dropping the throw. He's going to throw it out to the left. It's caught. Oh, no, it's not caught. It's an incomplete pass as number 2, Evan Boyd, was popped as soon as he got the ball.
Charles Thompson, number 5, the corner out there.
And he got there at the absolute perfect time. It was not early, and it was just right on time. As soon as the ball hit his chest, that's when he got popped. Completely legal play. 2nd down and 10.
Wonderful job by Charles Thompson, excuse me.
Can't time it out better than that
No,
when you hit the guy. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Adams in the gun, Clarizio next to him in the gun. Adams dropping the throw. He's going to screen it out to Clarizio. He's out over the 10, the 15, out of bounds, maybe 15, maybe the 16, far side.
Yeah, J.J. Moore, good pursuit out there.
Number 6, J.J. Moore. 2nd down, now 3rd down. They're going to mark it at the 15, so 3rd down and 6. 9:36, 9:35 and counting. Second quarter, 7-0 East Lansing.
Another chance for Holt defensively to get off the field, force the first punt for East Lansing. Late subs from Bill Farraco.
Yep.
Changing their players out there.
Adams in the gun. Wide receiver left. Wing back to the right. Clarizio next to him in the gun. Now a man in motion. That's Dorian Jackson. And he's going to get the pitch. He came back in motion around. Good pursuit by Holt. They're going to knock him down at the 19-yard line.
Guess who's there again?
That's number 2. That's Isaiah Foster. And he knocked him down shoulder first, not helmet first.
Yep.
And a big-time play there. He did get a couple of yards out to the 19-yard line, but they're going to mark him down at the 20, but it's going to be 4th down and short. 4th down and 2. And East Lansing taking no chances here. They're going to punt the ball away.
Pursuit to the ball. They took a terrific angle, and the one defender out there, number 5, Charles Thompson, held off somebody and forced Dorian Jackson to run all the way to the outside, and that allowed more Rams to catch up.
8:18 to go, first half. Holt in, looks like punt safe here. Low snap. Kick away, almost blocked. That was Mitchell Roberts on the punt. Ball is going to be taken at the 45-yard line by Isaiah Foster, and he's down at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, nice tackle by 23, Jeff Bridges. Not that Jeff Bridges, another one.
Shot by number 23, Jeff Bridges.
Yes. Just pick your movie.
Yes. Iron Man.
Big Lebowski.
Oh, man. Escanaba in the Moonlight.
The second incarnation of King Kong back in 1976, starring Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself, I understand.
Michigan's own Jeff Bridges, right?
No, that's Jeff Daniels from Chelsea. You're thinking of Jeff Daniels. Still, 2 great actors.
Wrong Jeff.
Right there. Yes.
Whole Rams ball.
Yes, 7:57. They have the ball at their own 47-yard line, left hash. Seneca Moore's got it himself. He's going to go around the right side. Not much there. He's going to get 1, maybe 2 yards, and he's still struggling for more yardage, but he's taken down. Kieran Jackson knocks him down, number 0. And just not much there. Gain of 1.
Well, they're going to give him 2, actually.
Well, they do give him credit for 2. Up to the 49. 7:30 to go first half. 7-0 East Lansing.
Maybe late surge there.
Yep. Seems like East Lansing should be leading by more. They've had the better of the play right now, but Holt was able to stop them twice inside the Holt 30-yard line, and then they've just been able to force a punt here. Seneca Moore in the gun. Bryce Cornelius next to him. In this weird formation again, and now we got a whistle.
Another delay a game.
Delay a game. 5th penalty of the game for 35 yards.
Chad Folk, the head coach for Holt, was jumping up and down, yelling at his guys, hurry up, hurry up.
He doesn't want to use a timeout here. No. Although he's got three timeouts, he could. With 7:03 to go, that moves the ball back to the 44-yard line. That's 2nd and long.
That would have been the time to use it.
Might have been. Shotgun formation. Seneca Moore's going to take it himself, and he's going to get sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Just too much penetration for East Lansing. Take your pick. Cody Malenfant. Number 99, number 1, Dorian Jackson. Number 0, Kieran Jackson, and a late flag.
2 late flags. That looked like a broken play to start with. I don't think Seneca Moore was even supposed to take off on that play.
He's down at his own 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down pending the flags. 6:52 to go first quarter. East Lansing up 7-0 on a Jace Clarizio 40-yard touchdown on the last play of the first quarter. Officials still talking, and now you go. Dead ball, personal foul, East Lansing. Dead ball, personal foul, Holt. They'll cancel it out. It's dead ball, so the down counts, and it'll be 3rd down.
So something happened after the play.
Yep.
Maybe some talking, a little jawing out there. Conference rivals, you would expect that.
It happens. Yep, it happens. People say, oh, you shouldn't be talking out there. That's part of the game.
Yeah. You just can't say too many things.
There are limits to it, yes, but You got to allow the kids to play, and that's part of it. Seneca Moore taking the snap, rolling out to the left, throws it out to the left, incomplete pass. Cody Malenfant just came around the left end and nearly sacked him, but we got a late flag on the far side.
It's like an eligible receiver downfield.
Yep.
They'll probably decline this one.
And make it fourth down.
Ineligible receiver downfield against the Rams.
If you're East Lansing, you decline this and make it fourth down.
Yeah, they're checking in with Coach Bill Faracco on the opposite sideline.
Yep. Decline the penalty.
So it's just an incomplete pass.
Man, penalties have really hurt Holt in this first half. They've got 5, and they've had several others that have been declined. So Jake Bortnicek, number 85, is going to be punting from his own 27-yard line. 6:42 to go first half. 7-0 East Lansing.
Evan Boyd back for East Lansing.
High snap. Kick away. Ball hits at the 30-yard line. It's taken at the 23. And he's out over the 25 to the 27, taken down there. Who is that? Number 84 for Holt, Aaron Zuski, and number 15, Joseph Mitchell on the tackle. So now East Lansing has the ball at their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, going from left to right. 6:31 to go. They've got all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for EL. They've had the better of the play. It seems like they should be up by more than 7-0 right now, but they have had a turnover. They've been stopped on downs one other time as well. And they were just forced to punt on the last drive.
End of first, PW 14, Bath nothing.
PW wins that game. They clinch a share of the league title in the CMAC. Deep back is Clarizio. He gets it out over the 25, out over the 30. 35, he gets stopped there, gets away from a man, out to the 40, maybe the 41, first down. Now they're going to mark him down at the 40-yard line, so it's a gain of 13.
A nice job. Somebody came over and slowed him down, and then he was able to put his shoulders down, get off of that tackler, and pick up 3 more.
1st and 10, ball on the left hash at their own 40-yard line. 6:13 and counting.
Rams defensively need another stop and a punt, or force another turnover. They don't want to go down 14-0.
I think they really need a turnover here if they want to score in this situation. Pistol formation for Adams. Fake handoff to Clarizio. Adams still has it. Rolls out to the right. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's number 2. That is Isaiah Foster with a terrific play. Great pursuit for Holt.
The safety came flying up from his position after he saw that Dalen Adams had kept it on that fake. I thought for sure Adams was going to get at least 5 or 6 yards out of it.
That is all speed by Isaiah Foster, because you're right. He came in from the secondary and knocked him down for a 3-yard loss. 2nd down and 13 from their own 37. 5:26 and counting, first half. 7-0 East Lansing.
That's 2 things. 1, that smarts for the play recognition to see it, and 2, just the natural speed to get out there and make the play.
A combination of coaching and just pure speed, pure talent that you really can't coach. Pistol formation for Adams. Clarizio behind him, faking to Clarizio, dropping to throw. Throws it out to the left. He's got a man there. Intercepted, though. The safety came in and got it at his own 45. He's into East Lansing territory. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown! Touchdown, Holt!
Number 5, Charles Thompson. 50 yards they're calling it, Brock.
Wow. We'll get confirmation when we get to the half. That's the turnover that Holt needed. And it's 7-6.
Hashtag pick 6, Brock.
That was Charles Thompson?
Yes, number 5. Sitting back there, the corner was waiting. The pass from Dalen Adams was a little bit too deep. I think Evan Boyd, the one receiver out there, kind of slowed down on his route.
And the safety got over in time. The good job by the safety.
And Holt doesn't kick extra points. They go for 2.
Oh, they're going to go for 2 to try to take the lead. Seneca Moore in the gun. Power set, single wing set. Is he going to get in? Yes, he will.
Found a seam.
Found a seam on the left side. The 2-pointer is good. And somehow, some way, Holt has taken the lead 8-7 with 4:54 to go in the first half. A 30-second break and we're back on the game. 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Have you been showering in a big puddle? struggling to get that dirty dishwater to go down the drain. And then there's all those terrible smells.
As Charles Thompson returned an interception, they say 50 yards. We'll get clarification on that when we get to halftime. Anyway, it was a pick six. An interception return for a touchdown, but of course, as the kids say today, a pick six.
Yes.
And it was legit, and made it 7-6, and then Seneca Moore took it in for the 2-point conversion, and Holt has the lead 8-7 with 4:54 to go in the first half. Now here's a squib kick up the middle, taken by East Lansing, and they're just going to fall on it after it was originally fumbled at the 27-yard line. Number 6 for East Lansing, Donovan Patterson, fumbled it originally, and he just decided, I think smartly, just to fall on the ball.
Well, the Trojans get the ball back, Brock, but just turn the ball over on the last play.
2 turnovers for East Lansing. 1 stopped a drive in Holt territory, and 1 was the only score of the game so far. For Holt, I should say. East Lansing taking over on their own 27-yard line. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Jace Clarizio behind him, and he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by Isaiah Foster, who's having a great defensive game tonight.
Yeah, the defensive back, the safety's coming in and making some wonderful plays in the backfield.
Maybe a gain of 1.
They're going to say he lost a yard, actually.
Well, it's at the 27, so maybe they just no gain.
Okay.
4:27 and counting, first half. Holt leading 8-7. That's right. They don't kick extra points. They just go for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Shotgun formation, Dalen Adams. Jace Clarizio next to him in the gun. Wingbacks on either side. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Adams dropping to throw. He's going to throw it out to the left. It's caught at the 39-yard line. It's going to be a first down, and that is Dorian Jackson. Threw a back shoulder throw. It was a little bit short, so Dorian Jackson had to dive back for it, and he did get it at the 39-yard line. Mark it at the 40-yard line. Big gain there, gain of 13.
Back shoulder throw. That's one of those professional throws or a college throw that the scouts are always like, okay, if he can throw the back shoulder throw, it's a great.
No, just say Aaron Rodgers.
No, because I don't like saying him. But never the back shoulder throw.
Yes.
We don't mention cheeseheads around
which
here.
Which he perfected. Give him credit for it. Handoff, Clarizio. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. I say maybe because number 6, Charles Thompson, was in there. Or J.J. Moore, number 6, I'm sorry.
And Bryce Cornelius was there too.
Man.
A couple of linebackers making some plays, stepping up in the hole. The run game for East Lansing's been hit or miss. It's been, you're either going to get a bunch of positive yards or you're going to get nothing.
2nd and 10 from their own 40. 3:15 to go, first half. Brock Palmbush, Eric Doc Love here at Mike Smith Memorial Stadium in Holt. Holt leading 8-7. Pistol formation again. Wingbacks on the right and left, and wide receivers wider than that. Clarizio behind him. Fake handoff. Now Adams taken down behind the line of scrimmage at the 31. A late flag, might be a face mask.
Well, Carlos Speed, 54, comes flying in and makes that sack. You're right, the flag did not come from the official, though. It came from someone further back.
One of the back judges.
Yes.
Nope, no flag.
All
okay.
Right. So it's a sack.
Carlos Speed.
8-yard sack.
Man.
The defensive lineman got past the offensive line into the backfield, and Dalen Adams had nobody to throw the ball to.
And that's good officiating there. You got 2 officials conversing. The back judge thought he saw a flag. The referee, who was closer to the play, maybe had a better view of it. They conversed and got the call right. It was close to a face mask. The hand was up high, but I don't think it got his face mask.
No.
2:25 to go. First half, 3rd and 18 for Holt. Dalen Adams taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Carlos Speed once again.
Back-to-back sacks.
And now Holt is going to take a timeout.
Nice job. Good decision.
They'll take their first timeout of the half. We'll take one ourselves and come back. It's Holt 8, East Lansing 7. Come on back after this 30-second break on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
Cherry Creek Mortgage Company prides itself on quick and accurate pre-qualifications, common sense underwriting, and superior customer service. We've been servicing the capital area for over a decade. We have the experience, knowledge, and network.
Derek Doc Love here. Turn of events here at Holt High School. A pick 6 has given Holt the lead by Charles Thompson. And now East Lansing has been stopped in their own territory. Now Holt's called a timeout to force a punt with 2:14 left in the first half. Holt has an 8-7 lead and time to add on, Doc.
Yep.
Mitchell Roberts back to punt, standing on his own 10-yard line.
Isaiah Foster waiting for Holt to return this.
Snap is good. Gets the kick away. It is high. It is short. It gets into Holt territory. Inside the 45, they're going to down it at the 42-yard line. 2:04 left in the first half. Holt leading 8-7.
They got a chance to add on to this, Brock, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Correct. Holt did win the coin flip at the start, deferred to the second half. Looking like a good decision right now.
Remember, Chad Folk saved a timeout on a couple of drives ago when it was going to be a delay of game. They let it happen.
Yep.
They used one this time. Will have worked out in their favor to save that extra timeout here.
2:04 left in the first half. Plenty of time for them with 2 timeouts left. Seneca Moore in the gun. 3 wide receivers. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Bryce Cornelius next to him in the gun. Gets the snap from center. Hands off to Cornelius. No, he fakes it. He's got it. 45 out to the 49. And we got a flag, though.
Well, this one's coming back probably.
Excuse me.
Back judge threw this right there in the line of scrimmage. And I think
holding.
It's going to be holding on Holt. Some make the motion as to someone grabbed a jersey and ripped him.
6th penalty of the night on Holt.
They've all been killers, really. I mean, they've been very hurtful.
East Lansing's only got 1 penalty for 15 yards. What's hurt them more? 2 turnovers.
Yes.
1:58 to go, first half.
And those haven't really been their fault for the most part. It's just been great Rams defensive plays.
A forced fumble and then an interception. 33-yard line. Minute 58 to go. 1st and 20. Well, if you're East Lansing here, if you can stop them, you can use some timeouts here. Seneca Moore in the shotgun. Cornelius next to him in the gun. High snap, brings it down, dropping the throw, trying to get away from pressure. He throws it away out of bounds. That's all he could do to keep from getting hit hard. And he did get hit hard back there on the 20-yard line. He gets up. There was a receiver out there. It was behind the line of scrimmage, Doc,
yes.
But there was a receiver there, so no intentional grounding. 1:52 to go, first half.
Apologies. There was a slow developing play, and the quarterback, Seneca Moore, just didn't have enough time eventually. Somebody came open late, but by the time he did come open, it was too late.
Moore in the shotgun. Cornelius next to him in the gun. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Moore faking a throw. Now he's going to take it 30, 35, down up to the 39-yard line, but we got another flag.
I think this is a broken play. I don't know if this play even should have happened. Somebody's down for Holt right now.
Legal procedure. Holt. 7 penalties for 50 yards. First half. It's going to be second and a whole bunch here. And it's a false start, so they have to. East Lansing has to accept the penalty.
Isaiah Denning coming up a little gimpy there for Holt. He's going to come off the field.
Number 5, Charles Thompson, replaces him. Thompson is a backup on offense, but, man, he's been terrific tonight on defense. As has Isaiah Foster. And Carlos Speed.
So the Holt offense hasn't been very effective. They've done more going backwards than anything in this ball game because of penalties, but the defense has been spectacular.
It's the reason why they're ahead right now. Minute 46 to go, first half. 8-7 Holt. On a pick 6 by Charles Thompson. Pistol formation. Moore with Cornelius behind him. Handoff, Cornelius. Maybe to the line of scrimmage, maybe the 30, and that'll be it. And now East Lansing, I think, is going to call a timeout.
Yes.
And they do. So they've got 2 timeouts left with 1:40 to go. We'll take 30 seconds ourselves and come back on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
The Greater Lansing Sports Authority wants to help you with your next athletic tournament or event. Since 2007, they've worked to make Greater Lansing a premier host city, drawing
first half. Holt leading East Lansing 8-7. Ball is on their own 29-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 25 for Holt. And at this point, Doc, I would think they would just want to try to get some yardage to get them in better position to punt. Then East Lansing will call their second timeout. I would think they would just run the ball here because Cornelius is behind him in the pistol formation. He does. He's out over the 30 to the 34-yard line, and now East Lansing's going to call their second timeout. They have one remaining. Holt has 2 timeouts remaining, and it's going to be 4th and a whole bunch here with 1:35 to go in the half.
That was the smart play, the safe play and the smart play for Coach Chad Folk to just run the ball up the middle, get a few yards, hope that you can punt the ball and change the field position a little bit and force East Lansing to go a much further distance with only 1 timeout.
Man, 7 penalties for 50 yards for Holt.
It's been killing them, Brock.
And yet, they're still ahead, 8-7. Why? East Lansing's got 2 turnovers, and they've been stopped a couple of other times, too. Once inside the Holt 30-yard line, first drive of the game. So,
a couple quick scores for you here while we're sitting at this timeout. Halftime, Williamston 16, Olivet 7. End of the first quarter, DeWitt 21, Detroit Loyola 0. And halftime, St. John's leading Ionia 14-8.
I hope the DeWitt crowd cheered the Detroit Loyola coaching staff and the players when they came onto the field instead of booing like you normally see at Name Your High School Stadium.
Well, the game started a little late because of the traffic issues for Detroit Loyola, but they made it.
Here's the snap. Holt punting the ball away. Ball hits at the 43. It takes an East Lansing bounce up to the 45. Jake Bortnicek, his 4th punt of the game.
Well,
it's down at the 45. So very good field position for East Lansing with 1:27 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that one didn't go quite as far as Bortnicek would hope, and it took a East Lansing bounce and rolled back towards midfield.
Only about a 25-yard punt there.
They've been worried about pressure. They've been bringing in their gunners on the outside to help protect because the Trojans have brought a little bit of pressure in on these punts. And that one was a high snap, too. He said one to scoop off the ground and then that one to jump up and haul it away.
Holt's only got 10 guys onto the field, so now they got 11 now. Adams hands off to Clarizio, 45. Out to midfield, maybe the 49, gain of 6.
He did a great job cutting away from the first defender.
It is a gain of 5. The ball's sitting right at midfield. They're lining up quickly. They didn't want to save, though, that last time out. 1:09 to go. Low snap for Adams. Throws over the middle. It's caught. 40-yard line taken down there. Fumble. Nope. They stopped the play. Let's see what happens.
They say an incomplete?
Hang on. Let's wait and see.
Incomplete. They call it incomplete. He did not complete the pass. He caught it, and then the ball came out.
He is number 23, Jeff Bridges for East Lansing, who was open, looked like he had it, but the officials say no, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 5 from the 50, 1:01 to go. Adams, hard count, 5 yards. This is going to be a first down or real close to it.
East Lansing was hurrying the ball, and I'm like, why are they trying to hurry? It was an incomplete pass. The clock has stopped. Well, that's why. They were trying to hurry up, get the hard count, and hope that the Rams would jump off sides. It's not quite a first down, Brock. Maybe half a yard.
They said the down marker says 2nd. The scoreboard says 3rd. I believe it's 3rd down.
The referee's saying it's a first down.
Now the officials say it's a first down, so never mind.
Okay.
Ball is at the 45-yard line of Holt. The nose of the ball touching the 45. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Clarizio next to him in the gun. We've not seen Kanye Jackson at running back in this game. Low snap for Adams. Handoff Clarizio to the 43 and no further. Taken down there.
David Venn.
Who's another guy who's played a heck of a game so far. Number 13.
Got 3 yards.
Going quick. 2nd down and 8. 40 seconds to go. Adams dropping the throw. Throws over the middle. Almost caught. Almost intercepted.
Number 17 jumped the route. Dylan Arnold. He leads him with 2 interceptions on the season.
He almost had one.
Yeah, the safety jumped in the middle and got between Charlie Baker and the pass from Dalen Adams.
37 seconds to go. It's 3rd and officially 7 from the Holt 43-yard line.
Adams doesn't know what the play is, had to ask again.
Adams dropping the throw out of the shotgun. He throws it out to the left. It's caught at the 36-yard line. Going to be short of a first down. And it's going to be 4th down with 31 seconds to go. And I think East Lansing's calling their last timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And they are.
At about the Holt 37-yard line.
It's going to be 4th down from the 37. 4th and about 2, Doc, with 31 seconds left.
He got about 5-6 yards out of that play. Did Evan Boyd, and then got pushed backwards.
As we cross the 8 o'clock hour, I want to let you know you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game, 7:30 a.m., WVFN East Lansing, a Town Square media station. Brock Palmbush, Eric Docklove here at Mike Smith Memorial Stadium in Holt. The homestanding Rams, off a Charles Thompson pick 6 in the first half, lead East Lansing 8-7. We've got 31 seconds to go in the first half. East Lansing has the ball 4th and 2 on the Holt 37-yard line. 4th and a long 2 or 4th and a short 3.
Yeah,
take your pick.
Either one, but if you're East Lansing, this is where you're calling 2 plays in the huddle. You're trying to get 1 play to get the first down, and then hurry up and go again after they set the ball, because the clock will start rolling as soon as they do.
And if you're Holt, you get a stop here.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on where the ball is, might want to take a chance on getting some points. We'll see. We'll see what they do here. Pistol formation. Adams in the pistol, Clarizio behind him. He's going to drop the throw. Looking. He's going to throw it, and it's caught. First down inside the 30. It's Boyd, 25, 20, out of bounds at the 20. Just a simple crossing route, Doc.
It took a little bit of time. Adams stepped up in the pocket, felt a little bit of pressure again. I thought he was going to take off on a run, get the first down, but always keeping his eyes downfield. And Evan Boyd runs away from his defender and steps out of bounds.
And he didn't go downfield to try to get more yardage, knowing he didn't have any timeouts. He literally just ran, got what he could, got out of bounds. 1st and 10 from the 20.
He started on the left, kept going to the right. Momentum was carrying him to the right, so that's why he ran out of bounds.
Ball on the right hash, 1st and 10 from the 20. Adams throwing, fade pattern, over the head of the wide receiver, Charlie Baker.
Well, the pass was well out of bounds, too.
It was a case where either he was going to get it or nobody was going to get it. 2nd down and 10 from the Holt 20. 17 seconds to go first half.
Good coverage out there in the secondary. I think it was 15, Joseph Mitchell. Giving up some height.
Charlie Baker listed at 6'3". Made a heck of a catch on the first drive of the game. He's a backup wide receiver. And he was in for Evan Boyd the first play of the game. They threw it to him, and he made a heck of a catch. Here we go, 2nd and 10. Adams dropping the throw out of the gun. He throws it out to the right. It's caught. It's by Baker. It's to the 12-yard line. Gain of 8. We're down under 10 seconds to go. They've got to kill the clock, and they do with 7 seconds to go. They got him. Man, they got him quick. Holy cow.
Did. Yeah. Baker running that crossing route in the middle, then they had to hurry up and spike it.
But now it's going to be 4th down. Yes, it's 4th down. With 7 seconds to go, they got to decide what to do here.
I mean, you're only going to get 1 play anyway with 7 seconds.
Do you kick a field goal here? It would be a 30-yard field goal.
They don't have any timeouts, so they got to do it and make a decision right now. I think they're going to go for it.
I can see why you would go for the field goal, but I can see why you would go for it here.
Yep.
7 seconds to go. Adams in the gun. Throws. Incomplete behind the wide receiver.
And that's turnover on downs. The ball went behind the receiver. The receiver was running a slant pattern, Brock.
Evan Boyd was the receiver out there. And now Holt takes over on downs. 3rd time they have stopped East Lansing in Holt territory. It's 1st and 10 Holt. The East Lansing offense is on the field.
They shouldn't be. That was 4th down.
That was 4th down because, they killed the clock. It was 2nd down when they threw the pass, 3rd down when they downed the ball. Yes.
We can't have a repeat of last week, Brock.
No, we can't.
Numerous times, officials did not know what down it was. It should be 1st down, Holt Rams.
The officials are conferring here with 4 seconds to go. It should be Holt ball at their own 13-yard line.
The sideline marker was correct. It was 4th down on that play.
And I think they're going over the plays right now, the last few plays. Because it was an incomplete pass to Charlie Baker. Then they threw over the middle to Baker, and it was caught.
Yes.
Then they got up quickly
to
spike the ball on third down, and then they missed on fourth down, and they got it right.
Yes. Good job by the officials.
And a good job conferring, making sure you get the call right. Now, if you're Holt, you got the ball at your own 13-yard line. You
kneel.
You kneel down, yeah.
You don't even run the ball here. You just kneel it.
Shotgun formation, and Seneca Moore is going to take it and down it there. We've reached the end of one half of play. It's Holt 8, East Lansing 7. We'll take a break and come back on Game 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
The Game 7:30 a.m. This day in sports history.
October 14th, 1978, a memorable day in history for Dodger fans as Yankee Reggie Jackson causes a World Series controversy, getting in the way of a ball thrown to first base that Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda did not appreciate. And in 1906, the White Sox become the first American League team to win the World Series as they beat the Cubs 4-2 to win the All-Chicago Series.
Lansing's only sports station, The Game 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
Holt leads East Lansing 8-7 after 24 minutes of play. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt. Wayne Lansing is great staff at 114 West Main Street in DeWitt, serving home buyers throughout the mid-Michigan area. Give them a call at 517-580-5050 and ask about any kind of home loan and or mortgage. And by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority, lansingsports.org. That's where you can find out about the GLSA. Mike Price, Megan Zemer, and their fantastic staff bringing national events to the mid-Michigan area. Coming up on the other side of this break, we'll get to halftime stats and analysis. We'll recap the first half. We'll also get to scores from all over the mid-Michigan area and take a look ahead to the second half. It's Holt leading East Lansing 8-7 after 24 minutes of play. But right now it's time for This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
We highlight some special performances as many sports hit the postseason, and a huge event draws hundreds of female student athletes. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. This past weekend was the 25th Women in Sports Leadership Conference in Lansing. It is the first, largest, and longest-running program of its type in the country, and it brought in a crowd of more than 600, most of them high school female student athletes. The conference focused on the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX and carried the theme of Power of the Past, Force of the Future throughout its numerous workshops and sessions. There were 3 keynote speakers throughout the day-and-a-half event. Ashley Baker, the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at Michigan State, Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, MSU's new softball coach, and Kim Barnes-Arico, the University of Michigan's women's basketball coach. Barnes-Arico was thrilled to be a part of the event.
Keep trying to fight for change. I think it's really important. We're 50 years into Title IX, but we're not done. And be passionate and love what you do. They were the ones that talked about, energy and bring positive energy and be a great teammate and celebrate the small victories just as much as you celebrate the large ones. So I loved speaking to the group, and they were really connected. And I think they're the groups that is going to continue to change the world.
We'll have more from the WISL conference later in the show. Game balls this week go to East Lansing Soccer's Carter Hagan. The junior scored the lone goal in a 1-0 win over Okemos, leading the Trojans to the CAAC Gold Cup final. The win also ended Okemos' 40-game unbeat streak. DeWitt golfer Courtney Novak, she had a hole-in-one as the sophomore helped lead DeWitt to a regional golf title. It was Novak's first career ace. And to Benzie Central's Hunter Jones. He set a boys' cross-country meet record at the Portage Invitational, clocking in at 14 minutes and 37 seconds.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating. with the MHSAA's Jeff Kimmerly.
Team A has the ball at its own 3-yard line, facing a 4th and 10. Quarterback drops back into the end zone, and just before he's about to be sacked, he throws the ball away. Out comes the flag for intentional grounding, which would give the defense 2 points and force Team A to kick off. But the coach of the team on defense would rather decline the penalty and take over at the 3-yard line. Can he do that? Not exactly. While he can decline the penalty, the result of the play is the same: a safety for the defense. The penalty is accepted, the enforcement is from the end zone, resulting in a safety. Incomplete illegal passes end the play where the pass is made. So even if the penalty is declined, it's a safety because the play ended behind the goal line.
Thanks, Jeff. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Continuing with our coverage of the 25th WISL Conference, recently retired Livonia Stevenson Athletic Director Lori Hyman was honored with the 2022 Women in Sports Leadership Award. Hyman was a college basketball coach for 17 years before becoming a high school AD for the last 27 years. The MHSAA's Kathy Vrjink-Westorp served as the chairperson for the WISL Conference.
The Women in Sports Leadership presenters were outstanding and spoke about real topics and challenges that are relevant to current-day athletes. Comments were heard around the conference that students, coaches, and administrators found it very beneficial and enjoyed the opportunity to hear outstanding leaders in sport. It was chock full of great information, instrumental in promoting females in sports leadership. All in all, it was a great reflection of a conference for young women on this 50th anniversary of Title IX.
For more on the conference or any of our Title IX content online, please go to MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
O'Reilly.
It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after a mail-in rebate with the purchase of
Stadium. We got clarification on the touchdown that was scored by Holt. It was Charles Thompson, but it was 55 yards, not 50 yards, on the pick six, which has given Holt an 8-7 lead here after 24 minutes of play. Let's get to the scoring summary and some of the other stats in the first half. There was no scoring up until the final play of the first quarter. That's when Jace Clarizio took a handoff, broke a tackle, and went 40 yards for an East Lansing touchdown. The extra point by Mitchell Roberts was good, and it was 7-0 East Lansing. There were a couple of exchanges of punts. East Lansing had a turnover, and then East Lansing got the ball with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. And then Dalen Adams threw a pass, high pass, kind of a fade pass to the corner right around midfield. And the safety man, Charles Thompson, intercepted it and returned it 55 yards for a touchdown, 55-yard pick six. They went for two, did Holt. Seneca Moore took it in from the 3-yard line for 2 points. And that's why Holt has the lead, 8-7. That was at 4:54 of the second quarter, and that's where we are at halftime. Holt leading 8-7, and like you mentioned, Holt won the coin toss at halftime, and they elected to defer, so they will get the ball to start quarter number 3. A lot of penalties have hurt Holt, though, in the first half. 8 penalties for 55 yards in the first half. East Lansing committed only 1 for 15 yards. It was a personal foul. But the main thing is, East Lansing's committed 2 turnovers. 1 stopped a drive in the first quarter. The other led to the Holt score.
The Trojans have moved the ball well, have gotten into Ram territory numerous times inside the 30, inside the 20 in that red zone area, and been turned away a couple of times. Their one touchdown was a long one, the 40-yarder.
Yep.
And that's it. The Rams defense has been the story of the first half, Brock, and that is why they're leading right now, because their offense has 23 total yards.
That's correct, folks. 23 yards of total offense, and yet they lead. And that's because Holt has stopped East Lansing 3 times inside the Holt 30-yard line tonight. And just done a fantastic job there. Again, East Lansing 2 turnovers, Holt none. Penalties, Holt with 8 for 55. They got to cut that down. And if they want to win this game, and East Lansing 1 penalty for 15 yards. You got the other stats, Doc?
Yeah, I said Holt, 23 yards of total offense, 19 rushing. Seneca Moore, 2 for 5 for 4 yards. Bryce Cornelius, 6 carries for 18 yards. So not a lot happening offensively for Holt, but all their defense. For East Lansing, 77 rushing yards, 178 total on the ground. Some of these have become negative plays because of the sacks and such on Dalen Adams. He's 50% right now in the first half, 9 for 18 for 101 yards. Jace Clarizio, 11 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. And Evan Boyd leads them in receiving. He has 5 catches for 60 yards in this one. So quite a difference when you're talking about yardage between East Lansing and Holt, but the scoreboard.
Total yards for East Lansing?
178.
Okay.
There's some negatives, obviously, because of the sacks.
Yep.
Holt's got at least 3 sacks in this ball game, but big difference. Over 150 yards of total offense difference, but scoreboard just says something totally different. 8-7 Holt.
And they'll get the ball to start quarter number 3. We've got scores from around the mid-Michigan area that we're going to get to, and we'll take a look at keys to the second half. It's all coming up after this break here on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Cherry Creek Mortgage Company prides itself on quick and accurate pre-qualifications, common sense underwriting, and superior customer service. We've been servicing the capital area for over a decade. We have the experience, knowledge, and network.
Brock Palmbush, Eric Doc Love, here at Mike Smith Memorial Stadium. Holt leading East Lansing 8-7 after 24 minutes of play. Before we get started in the second half, we've got scores from around the mid-Michigan area, thanks to the Twitterverse here. You've got most of them already there, Doc. Go ahead.
Let's see. Second quarter, about 6 minutes left. It's DeWitt 35, Detroit Loyola nothing. CAAC red/white. Crossover game. Lansing Cal 34, Fowlerville 7.
There was an Ionia St. John's score that you had?
There was one at halftime, but it was a little while ago. I got to go back. I think it was...
St. John's, wasn't it 14-6? Something like that?
14-6, 14-8, something like that. Let me go back a little bit further.
14-8, I think it was.
Back on my Twitter feed here. Takes me a second. Well, it was halftime. It was Williamson 16, Olivet 7.
There we go. Okay. I have an update on Charlotte and Flint Hamady. I gave you an incorrect score.
Okay.
It was 28-27, but Cutler Brandt has scored for Charlotte. They lead on the road just before the half over unbeaten Flint Hamady, 35-28.
Wow.
That'd be a great win for Charlotte if they can get it.
Yeah, it would. They need some extra playoff points in that one.
To get a home playoff game. They're probably in the playoffs, but...
well, you always want more points, though.
Absolutely. So they can definitely clinch a home game. Lakewood leading Decatur 21-0. They've just started the third quarter.
21-0
over Decatur. Lakewood's a team that needs this win to get themselves playoff points into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, it's 14-8. St. John's was leading at halftime.
Okay.
That was a while ago, so I had to go way back on the Twitter feed.
Yep, sure, that's all right.
Let's see, what else did I have? I had Leslie and Eaton Rapids. Eaton Rapids, winless Eaton Rapids leading 1-6 Leslie, third halftime.
Correct.
CMAC play was 34-0 PW over Bath at the half. Dansville-Potterville tied at 14 apiece. That game was at the half. Fowlerville 45, Saranac nothing after the first half. You said Ithaca was beating Carleton 28-0. That was at the half.
Correct.
And there was an 8-man score, too. Morris 22, Portland St. Pat 8. And 8-man, that one's at the halftime as well. Most games are at half or starting in the third quarter by now.
Trying to find a score here for Hazlitt and Waverly.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. I have not seen any updates in that ball game.
Well, let me see if I can get in touch with Waverly Athletic Director Scott Castile. He listens to Stout on Sports all the time, and he always corrects me with stuff. Or he says, Brock, you're right, or Tim, you're right on stuff.
But he doesn't say the last one very often.
As a matter of fact, no. As a matter of fact, no. While we're doing that, Doc, trying to find a score there and maybe some other scores, keys to the second half.
Well, for East Lansing, can't turn the ball over anymore. Got to take care of the ball. If you give up another turnover, it could be disastrous for you out there.
As well as Holt's defense is playing.
Yeah, so well as their defense is playing, cannot turn the ball over offensively on the defense. I mean, they've been fantastic. They've been running the ball and slowing down the Rams' offense, and their run game has not been able to do anything. That's what they rely on for the most part. For Holt, got to clean up the penalties, Brock. Cannot have a whole bunch of penalties in the second half. I mean, they had 8 for 55 in the first half.
Yeah, unofficially.
Unofficially, you cannot have that. Cannot have any penalties in the second half. You got to hope the offense can find something. If they get one big play on offense, maybe get a long touchdown or something, that would really turn the tide for them.
41-0 Hazlitt over Waverly.
Wow.
In the third quarter. That's a running clock, so that's understandable why that game would be where it is at this point. I'm surprised by that score. I know Hazlitt's very good, and Waverly's had a good year, but that is surprising.
Waverly's been up and down. They were really great to start the season, and then they've had a couple issues here recently, losing some ball games. But, yeah, it's a big surprise. And we need a Jackson Mason score. We have not seen the Bulldogs score yet.
No, as they try to stay undefeated on the season. Lone undefeated team in the mid-Michigan area, Doc.
I think they're, ranked number 5?
They're right up there. I know that.
6:39 left in the third. Williamston 22, Olivet 7. So the Hornets starting to roll out there.
Be a big win for them. Big comeback win for them after losing a tough one last week. We're down 30-13. Just came up one score short.
They battled back.
They did. They battled back. They're very good. All right, 12 minutes are on the clock. East Lansing's going from right to left to start the third quarter. They're coming out here to kick off.
Well, I got no score for the Jackson Mason game. I've had people even on Twitter asking about scores for it. So, is that Mason? You think that Bulldogs would update us on some scoring over there?
You would think.
Sometimes you go on the road, teams aren't able to. They don't have the time, or there's not somebody able to do it
for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know. But here we go. Mitchell Roberts is going to kick off, going from right to left. They're in their road white uniforms with navy blue numbers. Penn State style uniforms. Holt in their home brown uniforms with gold trim and black ram horns. Kick is taken at the 19-yard line out to the 25, taken down there.
It's number 17, Dylan Arnold.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Holt. Only 23 yards in total offense in the first half. Yet, they're leading because of their defense.
That's what,
forcing 2 turnovers.
If
Go
you're
ahead.
Coach Chad Folk, you're hoping the offense could give you a spark here and do something in the second half here. Get a touchdown and take a little pressure off of that defense.
Seneca Moore in the gun. Bryce Cornelius next to him. 3 wide receivers, one to the right, 2 to the left. They're going to hand off on a jet sweep. Taken down behind the line of scrimmage is the man.
It's Dylan Arnold.
Was Arnold, and he was taken down by number 56, Javon Thomas. And to say he got penetration into the backfield is an understatement.
Yes. He almost got the handoff on that play.
He sniffed out immediately, and it's a big loss back to the 23-yard line.
Now the junior defensive tackle with a big play.
Moore in the gun again. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Cornelius next to him. Same formation as the last play. Moore gets the snap, low snap. He's got to get away from pressure, and now he's going to throw for it, and it is intercepted at the 40.
Not a good decision. Ball came out.
And it did come out. Let's wait and see.
Well, the interception was made by Donovan Patterson.
Number 6, yes, he had the interception.
The ball came out at the end, but I wonder if, is he down? They say he picked it up, and if somebody picked it up for East Lansing and advanced it down to the 11?
And I couldn't tell who it was, and yes, that's exactly what happened. It was on the far side of the field, and we couldn't quite tell what happened. But the officials say that the fumble was picked up by East Lansing and taken down to the Holt 11.
Seneca Moore trying to make a play, Brock, and he had a receiver out there, but he threw it behind him, and Patterson was there to pick it off.
And there's the defensive play that East Lansing's had to make.
You know, we've been talking about the Rams defense, how good they've been. Give credit to East Lansing, only giving up 34 total yards of offense in the first half. They've been spectacular themselves.
Officials trying, a ball not ready for play yet. We've got a little bit of a delay here. 11:05 in the first quarter. It was kind of confusing, so I apologize to the listening audience. If you're confused, we're confused as well, because we couldn't quite tell what was going on there. We did see the interception, but after that, we weren't sure. Handoff, Clarizio gets to the 11, and he's absolutely snowed under. Great penetration. Charles Thompson, who had the pick 6, was there. J.J. Moore was there as well.
Isaiah Foster, there was a whole bunch of guys.
There were 3. Great penetration. Are they going to give him a yard? Yes, they are.
Wow.
He got forward progress, folks. Got to the 10, and that was it.
To say the least, I thought for sure it was at the line of scrimmage, if that at all.
2nd down and 9 from the 10. They got to go get to the 1-yard line to get a first down. 10:28 and counting, third quarter. Holt leading 8-7. East Lansing with another great chance to score. Man in motion. Handoff Clarizio, counter to the right, inside the 10, inside the 5, down close to the 1. He's close to a first down.
He got it. He dove forward and picked up that first down. Almost got in, but somebody tripped him up last second.
And it is a first down. They say first down. He did not get the touchdown, but it is a first down from the 1 with 10:04 to go, third quarter. Can East Lansing cash this turnover in? And you would think, barring some loss of yardage here, it's 4 downs from the 1.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a handoff to Clarizio up the middle again.
That last play was a counter play back to the right. Let's see what they do here. Handoff Clarizio, right side. Touchdown.
Just got in.
Jace Clarizio, his second touchdown of the game. And East Lansing is back in front, and they cash the turnover in.
Mm-hmm.
And they lead at 13-8 with 9:41 to go.
And that was what Holt didn't want to start that second half. Got the ball, they won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, got a stop defensively right before the half, and like, well, we got the ball, we got a chance to go do something. They turn it over, and East Lansing capitalizes.
And East Lansing's going to go for 2, leading only by 5 right now. The chart says you go for 2 in this situation. So that's what they're going to do. Adams in the gun. Now they shift and get reset. Now man in motion. Adams rolling out to the right. Looking, throws out to the right. Incomplete.
Knocked away.
So, with 9:41 to go in quarter number 3, it's East Lansing 13, Holt 8. We'll keep this right here, and if you're a Holt fan, that is exactly what you didn't want to see when you had the ball to start quarter number 3.
Mm-hmm.
First turnover of the game for Holt results in 6 points. 13-8, 9:41 to go, third quarter. Brock Palmer, Eric Doc Love here from Mike Smith Memorial Stadium. Donovan Patterson with the interception. It was fumbled, recovered by East Lansing, and advanced down to the 11-yard line. And then they punched it in from there. Jace Clarizio. Mitchell Roberts, number 13, is going to kick off from the 40-yard line. 9:41 to go. Third quarter. And we'll have another game next week here on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, week number 9.
We're wrapping up the regular season.
We're looking at Grand Legend East Lansing next week as probably the number 1 possibility. Here's the kick by Roberts. He just line drives it into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Why didn't he do that the first time? Kicked out of bounds a couple of times, and then now he drills it out of the back of the end zone.
It's got the positive vibes going.
Yes, there you go. Rams offense needs a spark here, Brock.
They had 23 yards of total offense in the first half.
They just turned the ball over.
And then just turned the ball over. I think they've only got 3 first downs in this game. I think only 3.
That sounds about right.
I counted 3 in the first half. Seneca Moore in the shotgun. Handoff Cornelius. Cornelius, a little bit of a hole over the 25. 30. He's got a first down. Speak of a first down, and they get one immediately to the 31. Off a nice run there.
Speaking in, it shall be so, right?
That's the reverse announcer jinx.
The nice hole, a nice bounce out by Bryce Cornelius. The play is set to go right because he's got the 2 blockers out there on that side. So East Lansing all flowed that direction. He cut it back left on the weak side and found a little bit of a gap.
Gain of 11, 1st and 10 from the 31. 9:19 in the third quarter. East Lansing up 13-8. Handoff.
Foster.
That's Foster. Over the 35, over the 40. He's got a first down, steps out of bounds at the 43. Another 11 yards.
Give him 12, actually.
They're going to give him close to the 44. 1st and 10 at the 40. 1st and 10 at the 43. It was 12 yards, from the 31 to the 43. Gets as much as he can, steps out of bounds, avoids contact.
Bryce Cornelius came out after getting that first down.
Yep.
They bring in the backup running back, Isaiah Foster, and he picks up a first down, essentially the same play.
Ball at the 43, their own 43. 9:08 to go. Clock stopped. He did step out of bounds. Seneca Moore in the gun. Cornelius next to him. No, it's
Foster.
It's Foster again, out over the 45.
The Wildcat action.
He gets out to the 48, maybe the 49.
Changing things up.
He gets out to the 48, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 48.
It's a great job of getting 5 yards because East Lansing had 10 guys in the box.
Well, you know what? Doing their normal offense hasn't been working tonight, so Chad Folk making an and the offensive coaches making an adjustment.
Here it is again. Foster in the QB.
Isaiah Foster in the shotgun. He's going to take it himself. Over the middle. First down into East Lansing territory to the 45.
Got 7 yards on the ground that time. Running in between the tackles. Getting a little push.
They did this a bit in the Grand Ledge game that we did in week number 3.
It was effective, too. The Trojans, the interior line defensively has been really good so far in this ballgame. And all of a sudden here in the third quarter, the Rams have gotten some pushback.
8:10 to go, third quarter. East Lansing leading Holt 13-8. Same formation again. Wings, it's kind of a modified wing T, but Foster's in the shotgun. Wide receiver to the right. Fake handoff to Cornelius, and East Lansing sniffs it out, and they tackle him for a 1-yard loss. Number 16 for East Lansing, Noah Lopez was in there.
Actually, they say he lost yard, but it's closer to no gain. That one was snuffed out really well by the Trojans. It was a read option play for Foster. He had Cornelius. He could hand it off to him or keep it himself. He fakes the handoff, but even if he had handed it off to Cornelius, it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
7:27 and counting, third quarter. East Lansing up 13-8. Foster in the shotgun again. Cornelius next to him. Power to the right. He's going to run right. 45, 40, 35. Inside the 35 to the 33, first down. Taken down there by number 22 or 20, Julius Goodwin. And a nice job of just picking his way through the defenders and getting 12 more yards and another first down.
It was patient running, you're right. Picking his way through, finding a little bit of a crease, following a blocker up there, taking his time and moving the chains again. They found something here on this drive.
And in a low-scoring game like that, one score could be everything. Now we got a whistle. Official timeout.
Somebody's down for East Lansing.
Is that number 20?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to get my binoculars out here.
No, it's not number 20. Scratch that.
It's number 23 for East Lansing. That's Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, the sophomore. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the East Lansing 43. You know what? Let's take a 30-second timeout and come back. East Lansing leading Holt 13-8. 6:44 to go in the third quarter. Back in 30 on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN. Brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
The Greater Lansing Sports Authority wants to help you with your next athletic tournament or event. Since 2007, they've worked to make Greater Lansing premier host city, drawing
high school. Injured player now off the field.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges got up and walked off.
Good to see. Now clock running. Here is Foster. Fumbled the snap originally. I mean, he's going to get close to 10 yards out of it. Taking his driving blockers forward to the right, and it is another first down. Bobbled the snap originally, but he ended up getting 10 yards out of it.
It almost helped him out, actually. It slowed down the East Lansing defenders somehow.
In a perverse way, yes. 6:31 to go, third quarter. Now we got a whistle.
I think we got another Trojan down, or is the ball? No. Okay, the ball, they did not say it was a first down. The chain gang did not move appropriately for it.
Well, it was close enough to beat for a measurement.
The referee say, nope, first down.
But they decide not to. 6:31 left. Now once they get the chain set, now they're ready to go. Foster. Go running to the right again. He's got room to the 21, and he's absolutely snowed under there. Better pursuit by East Lansing on that one. And that was number 20, Julius Goodwin. knocking him down after a gain of 2 to the 21. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 21. 6:05 to go, third quarter and counting. Easily the best drive of the game for the Holt Ram offense.
That last play, they ran on the short side of the field in East Lansing. Less space for them to cover in that run.
5:50 and counting, third quarter. Shotgun formation. Foster again. Fakes the handoff to Cornelius, goes up ahead. He's inside the 20 to the 17, maybe the 16. And it's going to create a 3rd and short, about 3rd and 3 maybe.
More patient running through the middle.
Javon Thomas, number 56, in on the tackle. He's played a solid game tonight as Thomas. 5:20 to go, third quarter.
Did get 5 yards on the ground.
And basically 2 plays to make 3 yards. You're not going to kick a field goal in this situation.
Well, they don't kick extra points, so they're not going to kick a field goal.
Foster in the gun. Cornelius next to him. Handoff Cornelius. He gets the first down. He's inside the 15, inside the 10. Late flag.
This might be coming back.
Holding offense.
Yep. Killer, too. It was so late after the play, you wonder what was happening.
And it was behind the play as well. So they're going to lose quite a few yards here. It is a 10-yard penalty, but a spot foul, so it really acts as like a 15 or close to a 20-yard penalty. They move it back to the 29-yard line. It's going to be...
They lose 13 yards, so it's not as bad, but still bad.
3rd and 16. 4:58 to go, third quarter. Now the clock is running. Handoff. Cornelius inside the 25, down at the 24. Gain of 5, and it's going to be 4th and 11. Now, do you bring Seneca Moore in to throw a pass here?
You would think so. He hasn't been in for a while, but I see Foster staying out there talking to Coach Chad Falk.
4:28 to go. Clock is running. The ball is at the 24-yard line.
Had a great drive going, and that holding penalty might kill it.
They are going to go for it. At least line up to go for it. They may try to draw East Lansing offside, try to get 5 yards here. Just a gut feeling. Foster. Now he's going to fake, and he's going to throw. He's going to throw it deep. He's got 2 guys out there. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Dorian Jackson at the 2-yard line. He's out over the 5. He's out over the 10. The 20. Out of bounds. He tried to throw it to a wide receiver there, but he was double covered. Couldn't tell who the receiver was, Doc, but Dorian Jackson was there, and he intercepted it at his own 2-yard line and took it out to the 24. 1st and 10, East Lansing.
Yeah, that didn't fool the Trojans one bit. They knew they weren't going to run. It was too long at 4th and nearly 11 yards. They weren't going to run it on the ground. So they had one receiver go out on a pass play. There were 2 Trojans around him, and the pass from Isaiah Foster was easily taken away.
1st and 10, East Lansing at their own 24. 3:53 to go in the third quarter. 13-8, East Lansing.
Another devastating penalty for the Rams.
9 penalties for 65 yards, and that one hurt. Dalen Adams under center. 2 wide receivers to the left, a wingback to the left. Jace Clarizio gets the handoff and is taken down after a short gain of 1.
Maybe 2. David
Venn, who's played a great game defensively.
Kind of whipped him forward and actually picked up an extra yard or 2.
I've got Venn for 5 tackles tonight. He's got more than that.
At least 5 or 6.
3:28 to go. And he did push him forward for 2 yards. They say 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the 20, they say the 27-yard line. Shotgun formation for Adams. Clarizio next to him, wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Dropping to throw is Adams. Good protection. He's going to throw it high, and there's a miscommunication because the wide receiver, Evan Boyd, stopped his route.
And he ran across the middle, and the pass was thrown down the sideline.
So it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 27 with 3:05 to go, third quarter.
Another chance for the Rams defense to step up and get a play. The offense had a great drive. Penalty stopped that. And so it's up to the D to make another one.
Getting the play in from the sideline is Dalen Adams, the senior quarterback who played an awful lot as a junior last year due to injuries to Ambrose Wilson. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Clarizio next to him in the gun. Low snap from center. Feeling the penetration, throws it out to the right. It's caught there, close to a first down. I think that's Baker.
It is.
But it's not a first down at the 32-yard line. He's got to get to the 34. It's going to be 4th and short. And it's 4th and 1. Do they go for it here? Well, they're going to maybe line up to punt here.
Yeah.
They're at least going to line up to punt.
I think you got to punt the ball away here.
2:35 to go. Yeah, because if you don't get it, Holt's in great position to score.
And Mitchell Roberts is out there to punt the ball away. You play the field position game at this point. You're winning right by 5 right now.
Your defense is playing well. 2:20 left in the third quarter. East Lansing's got 10 guys out on the field. We've seen that happen a couple of times.
4.
Under 5 on the play clock.
Just got it away.
They just got it away. Not a good punt, low punt. It's taken at the 35-yard line. Is that Foster?
Yes.
He's out over the 40 to the 41, maybe the 42.
Took a nice hop towards him.
He nearly fumbled that ball there, but he's able to corral it and get a few yards out of it. Holt has good field position at their own 41-yard line.
Double clutched it.
2:01 left in the third quarter. East Lansing over Holt, 13-8.
They're going to stick with a Wildcat.
Worked for him on the last drive. Seneca Moore is out of the game, their starting quarterback. He just finding, meaning Chad Folk, just finding something that's working for him.
That's it. They're looking for a spark a different way.
Kind of a Panther formation that we've seen DeWitt run this year. Going to run to the right, to the 41, 42. He's trying to get more yardage, and he's pulled back at the 43. Number 8, Christian Vertrees, in on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 8.
Dig it, too. You're hoping for 3 or 4 every time at least on that run play. East Lansing, again, bottling it up on the short side of the field.
Out the 43-yard line, 2nd and 8. Minute 34 and counting, third quarter. Holt only down a score here. So you can afford to do a running offense here. Shotgun formation. Fake handoff to Cornelius. Fumble, lost the ball. Foster's able to pick it up. It was knocked out of there by number 16, Noah Lopez. And Foster did a good job of just falling on the ball. It's 3rd and 8.
It was a glancing blow. He was trying to cover Bryce Cornelius on that read option play, and he got his hand out, knocked it away from Foster, who alertly fell on top.
50 seconds and counting in the third quarter. This is probably the last play of the third quarter. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts. Both teams have committed 2 turnovers tonight. Wide receiver left. Power set to the left. Isaiah Foster in the gun. He's going to take it himself, 43, 45, 49-yard line, close to a first down. It's going to be 4th and 1, maybe 4th and 2. And Chad Folk may take this quarter break to think about going for it here on 4th and about 1.5 yards.
Well, I think they will, too, when we come back.
15 seconds to go in the quarter. And Holt's probably going to let the clock run out. We're down to 6. We're down to 5. They're going to let the clock run out. We've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. A good one here at Holt High School. The East Lansing Trojans lead the Holt Rams 13-8. Come on back for the 4th. On the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
The JCPenney Mystery Sale is back. How much will you save? It's a coupon giveaway in-store only. Starting Thursday, you can get an extra 30, 40, or even 50.
Memorial Stadium. Holt trailing East Lansing 13-8. The winner of this game clinches a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. It's been a tough defensive game here for both teams. Lots of mistakes in this game. Holt, 9 penalties for 65 yards. They've committed 2 turnovers in this second half, which is why East Lansing is ahead. The reason why Holt has points, they've committed 2 turnovers as well. One of them was a pick 6 by Charles Thompson in the first half. It's 13-8 East Lansing. We've got a fourth and about a yard and a half for Holt right at the 50-yard line. And they're going to line up to go for it. Tight formation. Foster in the gun. He's got the first down.
Yep.
Needed a yard and a half. He got 2.5.
Maybe even 3.
Maybe even 3 to the 47. They're going to give him 3 to the 47. And we both commented, Doc, at the half, or at that break, I would have gone for it there as well.
Yes.
That's all. It's feel, it's instinct, it's situation. You're down a score.
This isn't Dan Campbell gambling. This is legit go for it on 4th down.
Don't get me started.
I'm not going to. That was my point. That was it.
Thank you. Foster in the gun. Cornelius next to him. Wingbacks on the right and left. We got one wide receiver to the right. Foster's going to run left. He's got an opening. 45, 40, 35. He's got a first down. He's taken down inside the 30. Fights forward to the 28. First down, Holt. Number 11 for East Lansing. Tavion Demps on the tackle. Might have got called for a horse collar there because he grabbed him behind the helmet there. It was very close to a horse collar tackle, which would have been 15 more yards. Ball's at the 28-yard line.
He was lucky he didn't bring him down, but he just slowed him down.
Yes, which is probably why the officials didn't call it. Ball's at the 28-yard line. Big-time gain there. 19 yards on that play. 11:08 to go in regulation. Foster, running left, finds a hole. 25, down to the 21, maybe the 20.
This is just man-to-man, Brock. Whoever wins it gets the push.
Doesn't look like it's any complicated zone blocking scheme or anything like that. It is. It's just man-on-man. And Holt's been winning here in the second half. 2nd down and 3 from the 20. The scoreboard says 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2.
Yes.
10:32 and counting, 4th quarter. Shotgun formation. Foster running left again, short side, first down, inside the 15, inside the 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Holt! From 20 yards out, and Holt's got the lead again.
Go to the well till the well runs dry. They change things up the last couple of drives. Chad Folk brings in Isaiah Foster to run the Wildcat. He's been keeping it nearly every single time. We just mentioned it, man on man. Whoever gets that block or whoever gets that stop is going to win it. And the Rams are finally finding some offense.
14-13 they lead with 10:19 to go. And even if they had a field goal kicker, they'd be going for 2 in this situation.
Yes.
The chart does go for 2 and you're up by 1 in this situation. So they will. Huge play here. Huge 2-point conversion. Foster in the gun. He's going to run left. And he's going to be in the end zone. He just was able to sneak over. He was able to get through a tackle by number 11, Tavion Demps. The 2-pointer is good. And Holt leads it 16-13 with 10:19 to go in regulation time. Let's take 30 and come back on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
Service Professor will fix it in a snap.
Fall weather is here, and so is Service Professor's BOGO special.
Brock Palmbush, Eric Doc Love here at Mike Smith Memorial Stadium at Holt. Isaiah Foster has taken it in from 20 yards out and then scored on the succeeding 2-point conversion to give Holt a 16-13 lead over East Lansing. Remember, the winner of this game clinches a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. 10:19 left. And now here is the kickoff. It is high, it is short, it is taken at the 27-yard line, and East Lansing's going to down it there. Donovan Patterson, who has an interception this game for EL, just downs it there. And now Holt's going to rely on their defense one more time.
Their defense has got him the lead in the first half, has kept them in the ball game, forced East Lansing to turn the ball over a few times, and got some stops. So they've been carrying them. The offense finally gave them a spark on that last drive and got some points for them.
Yes, they did. Dalen Adams going from left to right. here in the fourth quarter. 10:18 left in regulation. Handoff. Clarizio stopped in the backfield.
Well, nobody blocked. 52, Josh Holland.
52, Josh Holland.
He was there waiting. As soon as Clarizio got the ball, he was there to make a tackle.
He was absolutely there, and it's a 4-yard loss back to the 23. Second down and 14.
Missed block on the backside.
Yeah, obviously somebody missed an assignment there.
Yeah, the defensive end was ready to make the play.
Down to 9:45 to go. Time not quite a factor yet, but you know it will. Adams in the gun. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 to the right. Clarizio next to him in the gun, man in motion. Dropping to throw is Adams. He's going to throw it over the middle. It's caught by Evan Boyd. 35-yard line pushed back there. They're going to mark him at the 33. Does not get forward progress.
Because he ran backwards.
It will be third down and makeable. Third and about 5 from the 33. They're going quickly. Is East Lansing. 9:12 to go, and they're lined up already. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts. Keep that in mind for later on in this game. Dropping to throw is Adams. Throws it out to the left. It's caught there. Not much there.
Nothing.
Dorian Jackson catches it, minimal gain, and it's going to be fourth down.
They got 1 yard out of that play. They ran the quick little out route to him. That's something you run if you need a yard or 2. They needed 6.
I got 1 out of that one.
It's going to be 4th and 4. And is East Lansing going to punt here?
Yeah,
yes, they are. 8:33 to go.
I didn't understand the hurry up at that point. You didn't really need to. You just mentioned clock was not an issue at this point, so you could have taken your time, huddle up a little bit, figure it out, but I don't know. We'll see if that comes back to bite him.
8:19 to go. Mitchell Roberts back in punt formation in his zone 21.
Isaiah Foster ready for the punt for the Rams inside his own 40.
Snap is good. Roberts gets it away. Good punt. Hits at the 43, inside the 40, inside the 35. It's going to be down at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10, Holt. 8:01 left in regulation time. Holt leading East Lansing 16-13. Remember, the winner of this game clinches a share of the CAAC Blue Championship.
Playoff points are obviously a factor in this too. Rams really need some, sitting at 4-3.
And 26th in Division I in the state of Michigan.
32 get in, so they're hanging on towards the bottom there.
And this would help.
Their defense got another stop too. Forced another East Lansing punt.
Defense has played outstanding tonight.
Both teams, really.
Yes, both teams played very good off of defense tonight. Isaiah Foster in the gun, running left. Gets to the 35, maybe the 36. He's taken down there. But number 20, Julius Goodwin. Not much of a gain there. Good pursuit by East Lansing.
Strung him out. Got 1 yard on that play, and they were lucky to pick up that 1 on the ground. And this Wildcat offense for Chad Folk that they've switched to has been much more effective here in the second half.
As we get to the 9 o'clock hour, I want to let you know you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN East Lansing, a Town Square media station. 2nd and 9 from the 35. Here is Cornelius going left side, pushes forward out over the 40 to the 43. There really wasn't much there, but he was able to push forward, running left. Gets to the 42, maybe the 43. Tavion Demps on the tackle.
Well, he ran over Tavion Demps. I don't want to put the guy out there on blast, but Cornelius just put his shoulder down and kept on driving.
3rd and 2 from the 43. Under 7 minutes to go. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts left.
Rams trying to burn some clock and eat it up on the ground.
Foster, hands off to Cornelius.
Nope.
He's not going to get there.
Cornelius again, the ball carrier.
Maybe a half a yard, but great penetration for Holt. Who was that?
We got no gain on that play. I didn't see who made the stop, but it was a heck of a play.
It's 4th down and 2, and Holt's going to line up to go for it.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Go ahead. Go.
I say your defense has been playing so well. You were just going to make the same comment there. I don't know if you want to take this chance. I know you want to win the ball game here, and getting a first down will be huge, but if you don't get it, East Lansing's got a short field.
6:10 to go. They're going to line up to go for it at least. Maybe they'll try to draw East Lansing off. Nope, they're going to call timeout.
Okay, all right. They thought better of it, I think.
They call their first timeout of the second half. They have 2 remaining. We'll take 30 ourselves and come back here on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online?
Holt leading 16-13 over East Lansing. It's 4th and 2 from their own 43-yard line. And it looks like, is Holt going to line up to go for it again?
Well, Chad Folk called timeout, and I thought for sure they were going to punt the ball, but no.
Well, they're at least going to line up to do it. And here we go. They are going to go for it. Foster, forward.
No.
It's going to depend on the mark. I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. Where the referees are pointing, I think he got it. I thought sure he was coming up short.
Both teams are pointing. They're going to put the ball at the 45. He got the first down.
He just barely got that thing.
The ball is sitting right on the 45. He just had to get to the 45.
Yep.
Man, what a risky call there.
It worked out that time.
But I'm with you. I would have punted the ball in that situation.
It worked out well for them. But that was such a gamble to take that shot.
You know what? Maybe the Holt players convinced Folk to go for it.
Huh?
We've seen that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 1st and 10, Holt, 5:45 to go, and now time is a factor for East Lansing. Foster in the gun, Panther formation, guys to the left of him. He's going to run left. Not much there. He does well to get 1 yard, and he's going to get pushed back.
Well, ball came out.
Ball came out. East Lansing says they've got it. We're going to wait for the official word.
They stopped play before that. They're going to give him 2 yards on that play. But
wow, he got a good spot. He's out to the 47-yard line.
He got to there, was pushed back, then the ball came out. So forward progress had stopped.
2nd down and 8.
Noah Lopez came up with the ball, but at that point it was moot.
5 minutes remaining. East Lansing has all three timeouts left. What a ball game tonight here at Holt High School. We've had some good ones this year.
The battle.
Holt, play clock running under 5 seconds. They got to go. Foster again, up the middle. He's got a little bit of a hole. He's into East Lansing territory to the 49, and it's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 maybe. Travion Demps on the tackle. Tavion Demps, my apologies.
Got 3 on that.
They mark him at the 50. Did not get a good spot there. Nope. It'll be 3rd and 5. 4:20 left and counting.
I think his knee went down, and then he tried to lurch forward for another 2 yards. Well, if you went for it on 4th down last time, if you don't get it here on 3rd down, you're probably going to go for it again.
Foster in the gun. Wingbacks on either side.
Oh, false start.
False start, offense.
Every flag flew on that one, Brock.
That's an easy call there.
J.J. Moore was leaning forward, one of those wingbacks.
10 penalties for Holt tonight.
Every single one has been in a bad situation, too.
And this one's a bad situation. 3rd and 10, their own 45, 3:57 left. Clock running as the ball is ready for play. 3rd and 10. If you're Holt, you just try to get as much yardage as you can and then punt the ball away depending on how much you get here. Foster. Fake handoff to Cornelius. He gets out into midfield. He's close to a first down. He might have it.
Man, he got tripped up and he stumbled his way forward.
He got 9. He got to the 46. It's going to be 4th and short.
I mean, he got tripped up at the 50 and kept his balance for, 4 more yards?
4th and 1. 3:30 to go. Sorry, Eric.
No, you're fine. Dove forward.
3:32. Clock is stopped right now.
Yeah, why is the clock stopped?
Now
okay.
they're going to now it's ready for play. There we go.
The officials wanted to make sure it was spotted properly.
There we go. So 4th and 1, and obviously you go for it here. 4th and a half a yard. Foster gets to the 45, first down. He got to the 44.
Yep.
And now if you're East Lansing, you got to start calling timeouts with 3:15 left.
East Lansing saying they have the ball.
Officials are conferring. It is a first down. It's at the 44-yard line.
East Lansing saying they got the ball.
3:15 to go in regulation. East Lansing, all 3 timeouts left, and they're going to have to start calling them here. 16-13 Holt. Isaiah Foster, a 20-yard touchdown run early in this quarter, has given them the lead. We're down to 3 minutes to go. Foster, hand off. Cornelius is fumbled. It's picked up by East Lansing. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30-yard line. It's picked up by number 8, Christian Vertrees. He picked up the fumble and took it into and took it into Holt territory. And now Holt's in business at the Holt 30.
There's a flag on the far side of the field. But they got to that read option play, and Bryce Cornelius did not get a handle on the ball. It bounced around and went right up into the arms of Christian Vertrees, the senior.
3rd turnover of the game. The officials are going to confer. 2:47 left.
This might be after the play. Sideline. Is that a line?
Nope.
Well, it's after the play. So East Lansing's going to get the turnover, but they're going to go back.
Only the 2nd penalty of the game on East Lansing. But it's a big one, and it's going to move them back from the 30 to 45. They're still in very good field position, and they got plenty of time. 2:47 left, and all 3 timeouts left. Sideline interference. Okay.
All right. It occurred after the change of possession, so it is East Lansing ball. And it's up to, again, their story of the game, Brock, the defense.
And unlike Holt, East Lansing has a field goal kicker, Mitchell Roberts. You're down by 3. If you can't get 7, you kick the field goal to tie the game, if you have to. Dalen Adams in the pistol. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Jace Clarizio, who's got both touchdowns for East Lansing tonight, behind him. Going to hand off to Clarizio to the 45 and no further.
Nope. Back to the line of scrimmage. That D-line stepped up huge.
I couldn't even tell who it was.
Well, there was a number of guys out there.
Yeah.
It was a herd of Rams. How about that?
There you go. 2:25 to go. 2nd and 10. 3 downs to make 10 yards here. Under center is Adams. Wide receiver left, wide receiver right. Handoff Clarizio. 40, 35, first down. He's down to the 33-yard line. A 7-man line there for East Lansing. Arnold with the tackle.
We got 13 on that play. Yeah, they had 2 tight ends in there. Hurried up, got to set. They hand off to Clarizio. Now they're hurrying up to the line of scrimmage again. Same formation, Brock.
Here we go. 7-man line, wide receiver left, wide receiver right. 2 minutes to go. Handoff. Clarizio. He's going to go left. Not much there. Flag down.
This is coming back.
Minute 53 to go.
The referee threw him way back over there.
I think it's going to be holding.
It is.
And it is. 3rd penalty of the game for East Lansing.
So wipe out that run.
Not much of a gain there. It would have been, what, a 2-yard gain? You might think about, no, you take the penalty there.
You got to take the penalty here, yep.
I'm just literally thinking out loud here, folks. I'm thinking, well, if they take the play, it's 2nd down and 8, but you need the yardage here. 1:53 left. Go ahead.
If this was the 3rd down, you let them take that.
Or even 2nd down.
Or 2nd down, or if it was a little further back towards midfield, you let that go.
Or no gain.
Yes.
Clock is running. 1:45 to go. Adams is in the gun. Dropping the throw is Adams. Rolling. And he's going to throw it out to the left. It's caught at the 35. That is Boyd. He's down at the 35. It's going to be 2nd and long. Gain of about 8 or so. Gain of 7, actually, to the 35. 1:20 to go. East Lansing not using their timeouts. Adams dropping the throw out of the gun. He's going to roll out to the left, and he's going to throw it. It gets it tipped, and it's dropped incomplete.
Yep. Ooh, man.
It was tipped. It looked like one of the offensive linemen was going to catch it, which you are allowed to do if it's a tipped pass, which it was.
They're lucky it fell harmlessly to the turf.
It's going to be 3rd and 12 from the 35. From here, it'd be a 52-yard field goal. You're really too far out to try one.
You've got to get probably 10 yards. Maybe you want another first down is what you want.
And if you're East Lansing now, we're down to 1:07 to go.
Yeah.
If you're East Lansing, you don't want to call a timeout because if you don't get it here, you got to use all 3 timeouts on defense.
Correct.
2 plays to make 12 yards. Ball's at the 35. We got guys moving on, and now he's got to burn a timeout.
Yeah, because Bill Farraco had to burn a timeout because guys were not lined up properly. He had wide receivers trying to direct wide receivers go back to the other side, and they didn't have enough time for that.
Yep. We'll take our last time out of regulation as well here on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
7:30 a.m. This day in sports history.
October 14th, 1978, a memorable day in history for Dodger fans as Yankee Reggie Jackson causes a World Series controversy getting in the way of a ball thrown to first base that Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda did not appreciate. And in 1906, the White Sox become the first American League team to win the World Series as they beat the Cubs 4-2 to win the All-Chicago Series.
Lansing's only sports station, the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
Brock Palmbush, Eric Doc Love, a thriller here at Holt High School, Mike Smith Memorial Stadium. 1:07 to go in regulation. Holt leading East Lansing 16-13. It's 3rd and 12 for East Lansing from the Holt 35-yard line. Coming out of the East Lansing timeout. Both teams have 2 timeouts left. Adams is in the gun. Jace Clarizio next to him. Now Clarizio goes in motion, making it 4 receivers out in the pattern. Dropping the throw. Trying to get away. Sacked in the backfield.
Number 8.
That's number 8. Isaiah Denning. His biggest play of the game.
And they lose 11 yards on that play.
And now East Lansing is forced to call their second timeout.
That's at least 5 sacks in the ball game. Jalen Adams has not had a clean pocket very often tonight. The pressure has been brought on by the Rams. The defense stepping up again big time. And a 4th and very, very long.
With exactly 1 minute to go. East Lansing down to 1 timeout. Holt has 2. 4th. The scoreboard says 30.
Not quite that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm looking at the down markers, maybe 20.
They got to get to the 23-yard line. They're at the 45, I believe. So 4th and 22.
Okay.
And if you're saying no choice but to call timeout,
yep.
You have no choice.
You need some time left, just in case. And you're hoping, you got to pull out your best long play here.
Hey, the conference title is on the line here. If Holt wins it, they're in non-conference next week. They're all done playing league play after this. They finished 5-1 league play.
Mm-hmm.
East Lansing at 4-1.
And if you're Holt, Brock, defensively, no pass interference. You cannot get, it won't give you an automatic first down, but it'll give them another chance.
They're at the 46-yard line. They got to get to the 23. 4th and 23. 1 minute remaining. Crowd is standing. Well, some of them are. Dropping the throw is Adams. He's being snowed under, and he's taken down. Sacked again. This game is over.
It's Denning again.
2 sacks in a row. And Holt's going to win a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. 2 kneel downs will do it. I think we know who our players of the game are. The Holt defense.
Yes. The whole squad.
And how about Coach Chad Folk and his offensive staff? Figuring out that, hey, our normal offense isn't working.
Yep.
Let's just go Wildcat with Isaiah Foster. He's the offensive MVP. Now they got to make sure they get these snaps here. 54 seconds to go. Gets the shotgun snap to a knee. 2 more of these, and that'll be it.
He's going to lose yards on these snaps, but it doesn't matter at that point because they're going to get a win and at least a share of the title, right? Potentially.
Well, they're going to share it with either Grand Ledge or East Lansing.
Yep.
The winner of next week's game at Lindsay Adams Stadium. We're down to 25 seconds, and this is going to be it. takes a knee, and that's going to do it. East Lansing not going to call their last time out. And the Holt Rams somehow, some way, despite 3 turnovers, figured out a way to win this game tonight when their offense wasn't doing anything. Their head coach, Chad Fulk, and their offensive staff figured out a way to win this one. 23 total yards in the first half.
Yep.
And after the interception that Seneca Moore threw early in the third quarter, he just said, forget this.
We're changing it.
We're changing everything. What we're doing is not working. We're changing it, and it did work tonight. Great performance by the Holt defense and just enough offense to win it tonight. We got lots to get to in the post-game show. We got scores from all over the mid-Michigan area. We'll get to that. A deep breath.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed that one tonight, folks. Holt wins it over East Lansing 16-13. But now it's time for This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
We highlight some special performances as many sports hit the postseason, and a huge event draws hundreds of female student athletes. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. This past weekend was the 25th Women in Sports Leadership Conference in Lansing. It is the first, largest, and longest-running program of its type in the country, and it brought in a crowd of more than 600, most of them high school female student athletes. The conference focused on the 50th anniversary of the passing of Title IX and carried the theme of Power of the Past, Force of the Future throughout its numerous workshops and sessions. There were 3 keynote speakers throughout the day-and-a-half event. Ashley Baker, the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at Michigan State, Sharonda McDonald-Kelly, MSU's new softball coach, and Kim Barnes-Arico, the University of Michigan's women's basketball coach. Barnes-Arico was thrilled to be a part of the event.
Keep trying to fight for change. I think it's really important. We're 50 years into Title IX, but we're not done. And be passionate and love what you do. They were the ones that talked about, energy and bring positive energy and be a great teammate and celebrate the small victories just as much as you celebrate the large ones. So I loved speaking to the group, and they were really connected. And I think they're the groups that is going to continue to change the world.
We'll have more from the WISL conference later in the show. Game balls this week go to East Lansing Soccer's Carter Hagan. The junior scored the lone goal in a 1-0 win over Okemos, leading the Trojans to the CAAC Gold Cup final. The win also ended Okemos' 40-game unbeaten streak. DeWitt golfer Courtney Novak, she had a hole-in-one as the sophomore helped lead DeWitt to a regional golf title. It was Novak's first career ace. And to Benzie Central's Hunter Jones. He set a boys cross-country meet record at the Portage Invitational, clocking in at 14 minutes and 37 seconds.
Need money for college? You need My Student Aid. My Student Aid is the go-to resource that helps Michigan families find money to pay for college. Plus, they'll guide you through the financial aid process and answer any questions you have. For grants, scholarships, and more, connect with My Student Aid, helping make college affordable for everyone. Learn more at michigan.gov/MIStudentAid.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Jeff Kimmerly.
Team A has the ball at its own 3-yard line, facing a 4th and 10. Quarterback drops back into the end zone, and just before he's about to be sacked, he throws the ball away. Out comes the flag for intentional grounding, which would give the defense 2 points and force Team A to kick off. But the coach of the team on defense would rather decline the penalty and take over at the 3-yard line. Can he do that? Not exactly. While he can decline the penalty, the result of the play is the same, a safety for the defense. The penalty is accepted, the enforcement is from the end zone, resulting in a safety. Incomplete illegal passes end the play where the pass is made. So even if the penalty is declined, it's a safety because the play ended behind the goal line.
Thanks, Jeff. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you are interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. Continuing with our coverage of the 25th WISL Conference, recently retired Livonia Stevenson Athletic Director Lori Hyman was honored with the 2022 Women in Sports Leadership Award. Hyman was a college basketball coach for 17 years before becoming a high school AD for the last 27 years. The MHSAA's Kathy Vrjink-Westorp served as the chairperson for the WISL conference.
The Women in Sports Leadership presenters were outstanding and spoke about real topics and challenges that are relevant to current-day athletes. Comments were heard around the conference that students, coaches, and administrators found it very beneficial and enjoyed the opportunity to hear outstanding leaders in sport. It was chock full of great information, instrumental in promoting females in sports leadership. All in all, it was a great reflection of a conference for young women on this 50th anniversary of Title IX.
For more on the conference or any of our Title IX content online, please go to MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Real lasting relief from joint pain is here through QC Kinetics. What they're doing for people here in and around Lansing is unbelievable. Beanie from the game 7:30 a.m. here for
Smith Memorial Stadium. And Holt wins it tonight over East Lansing 16-13 behind Isaiah Foster's 20-yard touchdown run early in the fourth quarter that gave them the lead. Let's get to the scoring summary. Since I just gave you the last score, let's start back in the first quarter. The very last play of the first quarter, Jace Clarizio ran it in from 40 yards out for East Lansing. The extra point by Mitchell Roberts was good, and it was 7-0 East Lansing at the end of one quarter of play. In the second quarter, however, East Lansing on a drive, Charles Thompson, the safety, intercepted the ball and took it 55 yards for a score. 55-yard interception return for a touchdown, or as the kids say today, a pick six. And Seneca Moore took it in for the 2-point conversion, and it was 8-7 Holt at the 4:54 mark of the second quarter. That's where we were at halftime. East Lansing took the lead early in the third quarter. Jace Clarizio finished off a turnover. Holt turned the ball over on their first series of downs in quarter number 3, and East Lansing drove down, rode Jace Clarizio, and he took it in from 1 yard out. The 2-point conversion was no good. And at the 9:41 mark of the third quarter, it was 13-8 East Lansing. That was a score at the end of 3 quarters of play. But early in the fourth, Holt just scrapped their normal offense and just went to a Panther or a Wildcat formation with Isaiah Foster at shotgun quarterback. And he was able to – they moved the ball a heck of a lot better in the second half. And early in the fourth quarter, he took it in from 20 yards out, and he took the 2-point conversion in as well. And with 10:19 to go in the fourth quarter, Holt won. Holt took the lead 16-13. They still had to fight off East Lansing. They forced an East Lansing punt, and then Holt was able to drive the ball into East Lansing territory, but then Bryce Cornelius fumbled on the play, and it was one of 3 turnovers on the night for Holt. They committed all 3 turnovers in the second half. It was a Isaiah Foster interception on his first drive at quarterback. There was a interception earlier in the third quarter by Seneca Moore, and then Bryce Cornelius fumbled on their last drive, which set up East Lansing in great shape right around midfield or so. But the Holt defense stepped forward again and stopped East Lansing twice in the fourth quarter, and Holt is able to win it tonight 16-13. They are now 5-3 on the season, but more importantly for them, they get massive playoff points in Division I and helps their playoff chances. But even bigger than that tonight, they are the CAAC Blue co-champs, and they will share it with next week's winner between East Lansing and Grand Ledge. Turnovers tonight, East Lansing had 2, both in the first half. Holt had 3 in the second half. Holt had all 3 of their turnovers in the second half, and they won the game. Holt had 10 penalties in the game compared to East Lansing's 3. Yet Holt won the game. 10 penalties for 70 yards compared to East Lansing's 3 for 40 yards. You know what sometimes post-game stats mean? Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
And that just seems to be the case tonight. The key decision tonight was Coach Chad Falk and the offensive coaches scrapping their offense and just going to a single-wing Panther offense with Isaiah Foster at quarterback. And he only threw 1 pass, and it was intercepted. And yet, it was the most effective offense they had. They were able to run the ball effectively with him and Bryce Cornelius mostly tonight in the second half. And Holt wins it 16-13. You're compiling the final stats there, Doc?
I got them for you.
Go ahead.
For East Lansing in the loss, Dylan Adams, 13 for 24 for 123 yards. Did take, 5 sacks in the ball game.
Oh, at least.
Jace Clarizio, he had a good ball game, 18 carries, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Evan Boyd led them in receiving, 7 receptions for 76 yards. They had 86 yards rushing and 209 total yards of offense unofficially. So they didn't gain a whole lot in the second half.
No.
Only about 30 yards, of course, minus the sack yardage in this one.
So, yeah, a little misleading. Hey, sack yardages counts as total offense.
Yep. For Holt, remember they had 23 yards of total offense in the first half. They end up with 167. So they actually had 144 yards of offense.
That's respectable.
In the second half. And guess where they came from? On the ground.
Yeah.
Isaiah Foster, 24 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Bryce Cornelius, 11 carries for 41 yards, 163 rushing, 167 total. They had 4 yards passing in the first half. They did not complete a pass in the second half, but it didn't matter because the defense in the ground game took over for the Rams in this win.
Offensive MVP for Holt, Isaiah Foster.
Mm-hmm.
But the team MVPs tonight is the entire Holt defense.
Yes.
They have to be the MVPs of this game. East Lansing MVP, you mentioned it, Jace Clarizio, 110 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. But the Holt defense were the best players on the field tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple, folks.
I mean, the Trojans were really good defensively until the very end. They just couldn't get stops when Holt changed it up because, I mean, they got 3 turnovers. They forced 3 turnovers, did the Trojans
all
defensively.
In the second half.
Yep, they did a great job with that. They only capitalized on, what, one of them?
I believe, yes, the very first one in the third quarter. That's right. Yep. After the Seneca Moore interception. That's correct because they were able to take it down. Jace Clarizio was able to score. Holt wins it tonight, 16-13. They clinch a share of the CAAC Blue Championship with either East Lansing or Grand Ledge. And by the way, East Lansing and Grand Ledge play next week at Lynn C. Adams Stadium. We've got scores from all over the Mid-Michigan area to get to. We'll get to that on the other side and wrap it up here from Mike Smith Memorial Stadium and Holt High School. Holt wins it over East Lansing 16-13. One final break and we're back on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt and by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority.
Cherry Creek Mortgage Company prides itself on quick and accurate pre-qualifications, common sense underwriting, and superior customer service. We've been servicing the capital area for over a decade. We have the experience, knowledge, and network.
What's staying the same? A quarterback in the free block zone who throws a pass to an area with no receiver nearby will continue to be flagged for intentional grounding. That's a 5-yard penalty and loss of down. So what's different? Now, a quarterback outside of the free blocking zone can legally throw the ball away as long as the pass lands past the original line of scrimmage. This used to be flagged for grounding, but is now legal. In fact, the rule doesn't just pertain to the quarterback. Any passer outside the free blocking zone can throw the ball away as long as it lands past the line of scrimmage.
Thanks, Sam. You can be a referee. Go online now to register at MHSAA.com. Be the Referee is a production of the MHSAA Network.
Lansing Sports Leader, WVFN.
Rick Palmish, Eric Doc Love, back with you one final time from Holt High School. Holt wins it over East Lansing 16-13 tonight to clinch a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. Cherry Creek Mortgage Company sponsoring our coverage tonight and all season long. Wayne Lacey and his great staff at 114 West Main Street in DeWitt, 517-580-5050, serving home buyers throughout the Mid-Michigan area. Give them a call and ask about any kind of home loan and or mortgage. And by the Greater Lansing Sports Authority, lansingsports.org. Mike Price, Megan Zemer, their great staff, bring national events to the Mid-Michigan area all year round. We got lots of final scores from all over the Mid-Michigan area. Eric, go.
6 minutes left in regulation. It's DeWitt 49, Detroit Loyola 20. Final, Waverly Hazlitt defeats Waverly 42-6.
Of course, Grand Ledge took the forfeit win over Okemos. They are 4-1 now in league play, 6-2 overall, and they will play East Lansing on the road next week for a share of the league title with Holt. Holt finishes the league season in the blue at 5-1, so they will share the league title with either East Lansing or Grand Ledge, whoever wins next week. And yes, that is a game we are looking at for next week.
Lansing Catholic defeats Fowlerville 41-14. Mason improves to 8-0. They defeat Jackson at home 35-6 in that ball game. St. John's gets their second win of the ball game or of the season. They defeat Ionia 28-26.
That damages Ionia's chances for the playoffs.
Absolutely. Williamston scores with 15 seconds left to beat Olivet at home 29-22. The game was 22 apiece. Williamston had a 70-yard touchdown called back, and then a couple plays later, they score anyway. And a good ball game over there between both those squads.
Moving on into the CAAC White, anything from Portland and Cadillac?
I did not get anything first. That's at Cadillac, so it's going to be a little tougher to get a score on that one.
I do have a score from Charlotte and Flint Hamady. Late fourth quarter, Charlotte leading 44-34. 3.5 minutes to go there.
Okay.
That at Flint Hamady. Lakewood was leading Decatur 21-0 in the third quarter.
Leslie did defeat Eaton Rapids 22-13.
Looking for a score as well.
Perry Langsberg, no one's been able to get a score on that one yet.
In 8-man football, I got a couple of scores there. Morris defeated Portland St. Pat's on the road tonight, 46-24. And Maple Valley got their third win of the season. They beat Black Hawk Christian from the state of Indiana.
Yes.
35-0. That's Maple Valley's third win of the year. Looking for a score from Fulton and Weberville as well as Stockbridge and St. Charles.
CMAC, Brock. PW, they get a share of the CMAC title. They knock off Bath at home 41-12. Dansville defeated Potterville 27-21. Fowler gets a share of the CMAC because they beat Saranac at Saranac 49-0. So it's a three-way tie for the CMAC title between Pewamo, Westphalia, Langsberg, and Fowler.
Man.
In the others category, Ithaca did defeat Carrollton 42-0. That's all I got for you, Brock. I don't have any more scores.
Trying to find a score from Ovid LC, trying to get finals from a couple of other places as well.
Yeah, Eastern at Sexton, we don't have a score for that one.
Right. We're going to try to find that here.
Let's see if I can find the Langsberg's Perry score. Nope. Still nothing from that one.
And you said Leslie was able to win their game tonight?
22-13.
Over Eaton Rapids. Yep.
Yes.
Charlotte was winning. We'll try. Let me see if I can find a Portland score. They were playing at Cadillac tonight, who's a very good team.
Let's see. Whoops. I don't have a score for that one.
Okay. We'll keep looking. We got a couple more minutes here before we get off the air. We'll have get your final thoughts on this one, Eric. But we want to get as many, if not all, these scores if we possibly can.
No score for the Mount Morris at Ovid LC. I don't have a score for that one either. Did some quick searches and wasn't able to find. Nobody's been updating on those ball games.
Why am I not shocked by that?
That happens.
It does.
Not everybody's on Twitter. Not everybody's paying attention.
That's true. That's true.
Other things going on. But huge win for Holt here at home. Defense was tremendous in this ball game, Brock. We kept talking about it. That's the biggest story of the ball game here. In this one for the Rams, defensively stepping up, getting stops, forcing a couple of turnovers, scoring defensively too. That helped kind of turn the tide a little bit at a time, and able to overcome penalties and turnovers themselves on offense.
Man, just a great just a great defensive game. I mean, it really was.
Yep. And for East Lansing, you feel the Trojans, you feel like you left points out on the field, but you had opportunities and you had more, creating turnovers. You could have gotten a few more points, and you could have won on the road, and you could have gotten the blue title all by yourself.
All right, we've got a couple of other scores here.
What'd you find?
Portland over Cadillac, 32-6.
Okay.
Huge win for Portland there. Charlotte, no, that's not. I'm looking at the wrong one here. Sexton over Eastern, 23-7. Sexton wins the Oak Chest.
23-7.
23-7. Sexton, they're still alive for a playoff berth. They'll need to win next week to have a chance.
They improved to 4-4.
4-4 on the season. 5-4 might get them in. We'll see. Langsberg beat Perry tonight, 34-14.
Okay.
Langsberg needed that win because even though they're CMAC co-champs, they were out of the top 32 in the playoffs in Division 6.
They were, 32? They were sitting, or 33. They were right out there. Now they moved to 6-2, beating Perry.
Dansville beat Potterville tonight. Still looking here. Ithaca beat Carleton tonight. Ovid Elsie, big win for Travis Long and his crew. 54-18 over 1-6 Mount Morris. Ovid Elsie, 6-2 on the season. They're going to win at least a share of the Mid-Michigan Athletic Conference, a conference that's just north of us, just out of our area, but still, heck of a win there.
I think that's pretty much everything.
That's pretty much everything we don't have a final yet, although Charlotte was winning with 3 minutes to go in their matchup with Flint Hamady.
The DeWitt game still had like 6 minutes left. That might be over.
And it did start late. Like
yeah,
you said
it was
before.
49-20 at one point.
Yep.
So you got to figure DeWitt's going to get that win, being up by 29 points with under 5 minutes left.
You would certainly think. All right, Doc, before we get off the air, final thoughts.
We talked about it a couple of times here. A great defense for Holt gets them the win. They stopped a high potent East Lansing offense numerous times, forcing them away inside their own 35-yard line. They forced some turnovers. They got points out of it, and the offense did just enough in the second half after changing things to that Wildcat-style offense. And for East Lansing, leaving points on the board, had opportunities, and they just couldn't get it done on the road. Just a great win by the Rams here at home.
Well, we got one more week to go in the regular season, Doc. I'm not going to commit 100% to it, but we will very likely be at Lindsey Adams Stadium next week for the CAAC Blue matchup between the Comets of Grand Ledge and these Trojans of East Lansing. We'll make a decision over the weekend, take a look at the scores and the schedules and what the records are and everything, and make a decision. But that's number one, what we're looking at right now. Not going to commit to it 100%, but folks, there's a good chance we will be out at East Lansing. Before we let you go tonight, we need to tell you one more time. Our great sponsors tonight, the Greater Lansing Sports Authority, Mike Price, Megan Zemer, and their great staff at lansingsports.org, bringing national events to the mid-Michigan area, and also Cherry Creek Mortgage Company in DeWitt. Wayne Lacey and his great staff, we thank them for their support all season long. 114 West Main Street in DeWitt, serving home buyers throughout the mid-Michigan area. Give them a call at 517-580-5050 and ask about any kind of home loan and or mortgage. That's going to do it for us tonight here from Holt High School. Hope you enjoyed the thriller tonight as Holt beats East Lansing 16-13. For Nathan Vandenberg, helping us get on the air tonight. For Jessica Gibbons, helping us get on the air tonight. For my broadcast partner, Eric Doc Love, I'm Brock Palmbush saying so long from Holt High School. Again, the final score, the Holt Rams 16, the East Lansing Trojans 13. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next Friday night.
Be in my building, not I don't want to have to go to you, and this could be the reason why. This game alone, right?
Yeah, I agree. And when you play in Buffalo,